Hello, I'm Danny de Hek, aka the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger, and boy, am I feeling just wonderful tonight. Did you know there was a Ponzi scheme that started a long time ago called Adam and Eve? Oh no, that was a different story. No, this one here is all about We We Global. Now, why I got interested in doing research on We We Global is when Hyperverse fell over, there was a guy called Kalpesh Patel, and he jumped out of the fire and into the frying pan and started promoting a new one called GS Partners. Now, I can hear background noise coming from my co-host. Can you shut that up?
Is that you or me? I don't know.
Probably, no, it's friggin' me. I mean, I can't start these off and be like a proper YouTuber. It's really starting to piss me off. Anyway, We We Global came to Christchurch, and I rung up every venue that was about to host them and told them they were about to host a scam event. When they got to their third event, which was hosted in the Novotel in the Christchurch airport, we managed to get them flagged with my team of Avengers with the FMA for running a Ponzi scheme. And then they come to Christchurch. And would you believe they had the audacity to come back to Christchurch just last weekend? But I had one of my Avengers in the audience, and we actually managed to record the first half of the meeting. So I've got my, what are they called? Trusted sidekick, Rob Woolley, otherwise known as Crypto Sage, the critical thinker. And he has not heard the recording, nor have I. So this is going to be lots of excitement. If you're really into investing and throwing your money into Ponzi schemes, this one could interest you. Now, I've had children of people who have invested in these Ponzi schemes ringing me up saying, how do I tell my father to stop taking out his life savings and investing in this Ponzi scheme? And I said, you can't. Because a lot of people, it's like a cult. It's like a religion. So I don't know what to do there. You're drinking from an invisible cup.
Am I?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Look at that.
Look
That's
at
so
that.
cool.
I feel like the Invisible Man. What was his? He died recently, didn't he?
Well, remember that the story, what's it, Once Upon a Time? Come, my love, I'll tell you a story. And it was the giant, and he drank that invisible stuff that was poisonous. You didn't see it? Once Upon a Time. Look, half the people...
I was away that day. Like the only giant that I got told about was Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah, I actually,
By
that was one of
Farm.
that was one of the stories that actually stuck in my head.
Not much has stuck in there, Danny, for a long time, but never mind.
It's a bit like a colander. I'll be the first to admit that. All right, so what we've got, Rob, is I'm going to, there's a couple of things we can do. We can flip to another screen, and now I have, and then I can bring up a recording, which is above us, and I wanted you to read the words, because I asked, what was that lovely AI program that you used to ask whether We Are All Satoshi was a Ponzi scheme?
Perplexity.
So I went into Perplexity.
.ai.
I went into Perplexity.ai, and I realized that I could also ask it questions about We We Global. And it spat out this. So could you read this for us, please, while I have a drink of my wine?
I will read. We We Global is in the process of rebranding to the blockchain era.
Stop.
The rebrand.
Stop. Why would a company that's successful want to rebrand themselves? Just out of curiosity. What do you think?
So you can be even bigger. And maybe because your last version of it you want to get away from.
So how many times has Coca-Cola rebranded itself?
Ooh. Well, originally they were Coke, and then they were Cola, and then they merged.
So they have
I'm
rebranded
totally
themselves.
making that up.
Okay, it sounds good to me. Did you know in
I
1996...
don't think they've ever rebranded. Well, if you rebrand with like a new logo or whatever, you know, like, but they've had the wave for ages there.
Yeah, but it's like Nike hasn't changed their name. They've just changed their logo design.
I don't think they've changed their logo either, actually. I think they've had the swoosh forever.
So did you know that in 1996, Coca-Cola made enough Coke to run the Niagara Falls for 3 minutes?
Really?
Yeah, and that might not sound very impressive until you've been to the Niagara Falls.
I've been to the Niagara Falls, 2006.
Oh.
I was there.
Was that you in that barrel?
That was me.
No
Hey?
way.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
that was
recognise
me.
you.
I was waving from the other
Oh,
side. Hey,
all I
Danny.
saw was your hand coming out like this.
Yeah,
And
well,
it was
there
like
was so
that-
much
and then it-
spray.
No, it was like that. And it went over and you went, Yeah, they got a museum dedicated to you now.
Yeah, mate, I got really wet, but not in a good way.
Did you go to the US side or the Canadian side?
I had crossed over in Detroit, Michigan, and driven through Canada and was coming back from the Canadian side. I was going to say the Canada side. Well, Canadian side, either way.
Yeah, because I went to Canada for a day, and that was literally
I
what
did too.
Yeah. Well, you must have wax museums.
No, I just wanted to see the CN Tower in Toronto. That was basically it. And when I crossed back into the States, they said, "Oh, but you were only here for a day." And I said, "Yeah, there wasn't much to see."
When I went from America to Canada, they were so, g'day, how you going? Welcome to Canada, enjoy our country. And then when I went back to America, it was like, what's your name? What are you doing here? How long are you here for? And it's like, Jesus, mate, back up the bus. And then they put me in handcuffs and the rest is history. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you a short story. There was a bridge.
You don't have short
Like,
stories.
in my memory, there was a bridge that went over the river, and the river signified the border. But I didn't know if I went into Canada that I'd be allowed back into the States. So I left my car along the road, and I walked over the bridge to the patrol guard, like the border patrol or whatever
Yeah, it
they
would
call
have been the
them.
same border.
And this guy was wondering what I was doing, and he said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm not too sure whether to bring my car over, because if I go to Canada and I'm not allowed back, then I'll have to stay in the States." And he said, "No, well, of course you're allowed back." But yeah, I've never been overseas. Well, I had been overseas, but not in America before.
And you had a Pontiac, wasn't it?
Pontiac.
Yeah, was that not a Ponziac?
No, you mean the car of choice of crypto crooks?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. No, it was a Pontiac, but it was a new one, or new in 2006 anyway.
No, good memories. Visible glass, having a drink. All right, so I don't know. I sort of thrown you under the bus here a little bit because I've got this first 50 minutes of the first part of the presentation that was held in Christchurch meeting on Saturday of We We Global. And I haven't heard it myself. I'll be honest. I haven't listened to it. But I thought, hey, I said to Rob, what are you doing on Friday night? Have you got a life? And he said, no. And so I said, let's go and listen to it first time together. So it's going to be a romantic affair. But I thought what we could do first is give you guys a little bit of background about my experience of We We Global. Now, I'm not sure if that just stuffed up your screen, Rob. If it did, I'm sorry. No?
No, that's all good.
All right, so let me explain what happened here. I was following, let's just go through them all for the hell of it. Hypertech, Hypercapital, Hyperfund, Hyperverse, Hypernation, Hypercosmos, Hyperplanet, and then they had a whole lot of other things like Hyper NFTs and blah, 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 blah. And Kalpesh Patel was a real big player with Keith Williams. And when Kalpesh Patel left Hyperverse, now he left Hyperverse because Sam Lee told him that they weren't doing what they were claiming to do. Now, at that time, nodes were big people in this organization. So Kalpesh Patel was a node. And Kalpesh Patel got told by Sam Lee that they weren't doing any whale trading, they weren't investing in startups, and they were actually transferring the money out of Hyperverse into Bitcoin. And he was horrified. And he said, oh my God, the community. Oh no, the community is going to hate me. So he decided that he would leave. And the first thing he did, 2 weeks later, after jumping out of the fire into the frying pan, he went to GS Partners. And that lasted 2 weeks. And I did a video about that. Now, this might sound really weird, but someone in the Netherlands, they spent $40,000 getting a blog removed off my website. Now, I didn't know anything about it until my ISP contacted me and said, Danny, we have to remove a blog from your website. Sorry. And it's gone. And I went, why didn't you just ask? I would have saved $40,000. Anyway, so I haven't really done much stuff on GS Partners because they have a shit ton of money to go after people like me. Long story short, then Kelpie sat around and thought, what else can I do? And he started getting involved in We Global. Now, there was We Global and there was Novatech. And they were two Ponzi schemes that they were telling everyone that lost all their money in Hyperverse and Hibernation that they needed to diversify. So ever since then, Kalpesh Patel has been promoting We Global, and also he started promoting Data Bank. Now, Data Bank is another Ponzi scheme. Let's not go there. But if you read the terms and conditions of We Global, you're actually not allowed to have two hats. You've got to keep the one. So Kalpesh Patel is currently promoting two Ponzi schemes at the same time. So I started following We Global. Then, all of a sudden, We Global announced that they were coming to Christchurch, New Zealand. You know that country on the very bottom of the world? Well, that's where I'm from. And Rob lives about 20 minutes away from me. We don't need to take a plane. We can just drive and have a cup of coffee together. Anyway, so when they come to Christchurch, I thought, what the heck? What the heck? These guys coming to Christchurch? This is not right.
How dare they?
Yeah, I know. It's exactly right. So I rang up all the venues that were hosting the event. 4 of them were in Australia and 1 of them was in New Zealand. And I rang up the venue and I said, do you realise that you are about to host a Ponzi scheme and this is naughty? And they went, So that was all really cool. Anyway, they hosted the event, but we did manage to turn up with a film crew, with a reporter from the biggest newspaper in New Zealand, and he did a bit of a doco on it. It was great. Anyway, they chickened out because I even rang up a guy called Stephen Condos, which I'll show you a video in a minute, and said to him...
Condos, not condom?
No, I think it was condom. Yeah, because this was where the rubber met the road.
Safe guy to deal with.
Yep. So long story short, I rang the guy up and I said, hey, look, mate, I know that I told you I was about to invest $50,000 in your computers that are going to mine crypto for me, but I've just been told by the New Zealand FMA that this could be a Ponzi scheme. And he goes, oh, no. This is just an advisory. And we, oh, really? Oh, silly me. I was reading it 5 times a day and it's kept on saying. So he got off the phone to me and he said to Diego's, who's meant to be the bigwig, hey, it's been flagged as a Ponzi scheme. Diego, who was in Sydney at the time, held the plane up as he got his bags off the plane and Skyped back. We went to Century Cove, had a round of golf, and then he Skyped back, Century Cove's in Australia, Skyped back to Dubai with his tail between his legs because the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger had caused so much disruption in his life, he didn't know where to carry on. So anyway, so that was the video that you see at the bottom here, is where I'm sort of talking about all these different countries getting together. Then I thought it would be a good idea for me to go to the Novotel and take some photos before the event started, an hour before the event started. And there's this guy on the stage. Now, his name is actually Mark Spencer something. But anyway, he was practicing his sermon an hour before the 200 people that were going to be there turned up. And when he saw me, he goes, who are you? And I went, I'm nobody. And that was the biggest mistake in my life, because I think what I should have said is I'm the crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger, and I'm here to name and shame anyone that is running a Ponzi scheme or a scam. And you, my friend, look like a scammer. You see what I'm saying? So,
what does a scammer look like, Danny?
Well, me. No, him. So anyway, so that was all very exciting. So make sure you subscribe and do all the wonderful things that us YouTubers want. So he went to chase after me. And as he left the stage, he tripped up on the speaker cable and just about ripped the laptop off the stage. I was so rapt about that. So that was great. So then I decided, I think I've got another video here. I don't know if you can see these. But so then I I basically started doing a lot more research into We Global, and basically the rest is history. I don't even know if I've got any other videos, but I did do a really big deep dive into the guy that actually who runs Australia and New Zealand. I have to narrow this down. Just 1 minute there, Rob. I know it's not very exciting for you, but I just need to give a sort of a bit of a bedding of what we're about to do. But there's a guy called Steve Condos, and you can probably read the name when I find the friggin' video. Why can't I find this video? It's one of my biggest videos. Where is it, Steve? Steve, I was going to call you Steve. Where the hell is he? Can you see it?
No.
I'm not very happy about this moment. And anyone's listening, we did have 5 listeners. We've only got 1 at the moment. What happened to that?
Yes, well,
It's like, I don't know what I did.
it might be telling you something, Danny.
Oh, there it is. Here it is. So this video here about Steve Condos. Now, I had somebody who knew him, and they told me that this guy has actually been promoting 8 different Ponzi schemes. And he started promoting, he was the guy that brought OneCoin into Australia and New Zealand. This guy had a whole history of promoting like gold coffee, which was multi-level marketing. And there was another couple of, there was 8 different multi-level marketing schemes that this guy had been promoting. And I got told...
Coffee, Success Factory, OneCoin, One Life, Babylon Life? I can't read that. Could be that.
Yep. And you were actually, I'm going to actually hit play on that because we can probably actually go into it and actually read the screen when it comes up. If I go back to the original, because I was amazed that this guy is like, I labelled him as the most notorious Ponzi scheme promoter in Australian history.
Notorious, I like that. The Ned Kelly of Ponzi schemes, do you reckon, Danny?
Yep. Now, I found out from a pretty reliable source that this guy has actually filed a tax return for the last 3 years, but has not paid any tax. And this particular guy literally commutes...
He must be pretty clever then, if you ask me. I might need to talk to him.
In this video I did about him, I actually showed his accountant. I contacted his accountant and said, what the hell, how do you manage to actually do this guy's books that he never has to pay any money? Now, because he never has to pay any money, this is not actually working, so I'm going to give up on this. Because this guy hasn't paid any money, tells me one of 2 things.
Allegedly.
Because he hasn't paid any money, tells me he's shit at making money. Hold on, I need to... what am I doing here? This is not happening the way I envisioned. That's it. We're back. Okay, so it tells me one of 2 things. This guy was shit at making money, or the leaders at the top of We Global don't make any money, or anyone that invests in this opportunity doesn't make any money, or this guy is just trying to get rich quick. I researched the guy. I found the house he lived in, and I found out he didn't even buy the house he lived in. His mother passed away, and he inherited the house he lived in.
I'd call that lucky if you ask me, Danny.
Look, mate, don't be lucky. Now, what about Carl Millar then? Is he lucky?
I don't know Carl Millar.
Carl Millar is another one of these guys promoting these Ponzi schemes, and he's on the dole.
Yeah.
How do I know he's on the dole, Rob?
I'll tell you what, if I was on the dole, I'd be having a go at anything that came along as well, I reckon.
I wouldn't mind being on the dole at the moment. I'd make a lot of money. It would be fantastic. So we don't
probably make more money than we are, Danny.
I reckon. I'm just asking people to buy us some coffee at the moment, mate. There's a coffee that popped up on the screen.
I'll buy you a coffee, mate.
Would you? Really?
I'll buy you a coffee. Well, as long as you give me the money, I'll go get it for you.
Yeah. So after all this run around with the history of We Global, what they were actually proposing to do, if people don't know, is I told the guy, Stephen Condos, that I had $50,000 to invest, and I've heard that he was...
Did you lie, Danny?
Yeah. I did. He told me that I could buy hardware and I could have it delivered to my door, and if I plugged this hardware in, I would be able to mine for crypto.
Is that part of what We Global is?
Yes. And I actually
I
believe
did not know that.
the funny thing about it, it's actually called We X. And that is their token, not a coin.
What's the difference between a token and a coin, Danny?
It's spelt different.
Excellent.
All right. So now the funny thing is that when you got the hardware, the token that this thing mined wasn't the We X token. It was another token. And you had to convert it into We X after you had mined it. So it was, gas fees, whether it ever happened. Now, I started doing research on We Global 5 or maybe 4 months ago. And they claim that they are now releasing a phone. And the phone was 13.
That was supposed to have come out in September, wasn't it?
Good on you, Rob. You pay attention to Danny.
Yeah, mate. I do. Sometimes I listen to you. Sometimes.
Tell us why you want to listen to me, man.
I think a little percentage of what you had to say is not going to hurt my day. Sometimes it's like rolling in the hay, but there's got to be a better way.
We Global. Anyway, before we started that, you were reading We Global is in the process of rebranding to the blockchain era. And
right,
then
you want me to read the rest?
I do.
By the way, we are not financial advisors.
Oh, bullshit. I am. I want to advise
anything
people.
Controversial that comes out of his mouth is only coming out of his mouth and is not coming out of my mouth.
Show me the money.
Global. This is what he made me read under duress. We Global was in the process of rebranding to the blockchain era.
Oh, it
the
sounds good.
Includes
Doesn't that sound good, Rob? Doesn't it sound good?
However,
Blockchain.
This is a recorded message. We Global has a history of being a Ponzi scheme that has collapsed multiple times. Is this from perplexity.ai?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got music.
The company
louder.
has suspended
Music's too
withdrawals
loud.
and disabled affiliate investors from
Oh,
cashing out
no!
LFI internal Ponzi points for Bitcoin. Instead, investors can only convert LFI to WeC, which must be reinvested back into the system. The company has also fed their investors a KYC. That's know your customer, isn't it?
Yeah.
KYC.
Why don't they just say that? I hate
Exit
acronyms.
scam.
Hey?
Hey, never say a word when you can say a acronym
Oh, shit.
or an anagram, whatever it is.
I broke that. Sorry about those for the people who have got headphones on. Yeah, so anyway, that's our
7 years
introduction.
bad luck if you're listening to this.
Yeah, I've actually got to bring up a wee bit of a box because I need to actually. I don't want to spend all night doing the timestamps on this one. So I'm going to put that we did the introduction. It took 23 minutes to do an introduction.
Oh my goodness. Have we got any people watching still? Have they gone?
Now we've got one person. I presume it's me.
Oh,
I don't know what's happened.
I do.
No one's. If anyone's listening to this, please do. But we will get people.
Please give Danny feedback
We get lots of
in
people
the
watching
comment
it.
section below.
Yep, that's right. You've done this well.
And then hit like and subscribe.
Yeah. So let's figure out how many people actually know about We Global. So this is the recording. Now, this is quite interesting because the person that gave me this recording, his best friend encouraged him to come along to the meeting. His best friend is trying to encourage 5 people to be in his umbrella underneath him. And he keeps on nudging his best friend in the ribs and going, you're going to be number 5. You're going to be number 5. But what we know is the guy that's encouraging him to be his best friend, to be number 5, has probably got no friends. And he's probably encouraging him to be number 1. and then you would go around to other friends.
I've got no friends, so I'd be terrible in a community.
I believe that. All right, let's listen to the conference.
I would weaken my pyramid.
I believe you. I understand. Now, if anyone's feeling like seriously sad about this whole event, and you may have invested in We Global, and you've just suddenly realised that
Have people done that?
I got one. I got the truck driver guy. The last video I did previously, he was cool. And he basically said that I sent him 12 texts telling him that we are all Satoshi is a scam, and he finally watched one video, and then he realised I was right. But he hadn't bothered to watch.
You should never have done that, eh? You should never have watched that video.
He was in a happy place, and then I brought him into...
Yeah, and then he watched the video.
Yeah, and then I think I've even got a sound for how he was feeling.
Just for pure visual effect. That's a good sound, Danny.
It's scary that you say
So you
that.
can watch that on the live. That'll look quite good.
See what I'm saying? All right, anyway, so what I'm getting at is that people need to watch my videos. We do a lot of research, but we don't take this shit seriously, because if we did, we'd be depressed. And if you are depressed...
There's no I in we, Danny.
Hey, speak for myself.
Yeah, you speak for yourself. I do no research.
I just said that, Rob.
I don't even know what we're talking about.
Even I don't, Rob.
But I'll still have an opinion on it.
All right, let's listen to this. Now, I had cut out the intro music, but... now let me introduce Frank. Frank lives in Rangiora.
Hey, Frank. Hey, really?
Yeah, he's Rangiora based. Now, Frank, last time I've actually put the guy standing next to him in this corridor. I was there, and I went up in the lift to the Novotel to the top floor, and I was in the lift with a guy that was...
How many floors have they got?
5, 6, maybe 7, maybe 8.
It's more than that, isn't it?
Hey?
I want a room on the top floor just to watch the planes one night.
Oh, look, Helen, my partner, she's a plane spotter. I took her up there for dinner once, and she didn't. Look, she scoffed all the food, didn't hold my hand, and looked out the window the whole time drooling. I thought this
good judge of character, Helen. Well, semi-good judge of character.
Crazy. But when I was up there, this guy, we've never seen a photo of him. I don't know if I can, but can I bring that up? Yeah, I can. Brilliant. Oh, this is still trying to load. So I'm going to get rid of that. But this is Frank, and this was the last seminar they had. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but Frank is standing there.
This is the one in Christchurch that you went to at the Novotel.
This is my friend who went to record the sound. This is Frank here. So every time we get a photo, this is his LinkedIn profile photo. See how small it is? It's ridiculous.
How small it is or he is? I can't see it.
Well, it's blurry.
No, I can see it.
It's friggin' as blurry as hell. So to get a photo like I just showed you, if I can get back to where we are, of him looking that big, that was taken by the Press, which is the biggest newspaper in Christchurch where we held the event. So that's the only photo we have of Frank, but it's a good photo. But this time, because Diego and Stephen Condos and his mate Mark Spencer, I've forgotten his last name.
And not Frank Spencer.
No, Frank.
They wouldn't want to get...
I've lost my slipper. My slipper's gone
want to get
down.
those mixed up, Betty.
I've lost my slipper. It's stuck down the toilet, Betty. You didn't know I could do a Frank Spencer impersonation. Anyway.
No, we still don't know.
No.
Oh, is that him?
Yeah, so that's him. So that's why I've got him. So here we go. Let's have a listen, and let's listen to the start of it. Hopefully it's the right sound. Let's have a go.
And our keynote speaker, Mr. Frank Stace.
Remember the clap?
I thought they were going to say Frank Spencer then.
Frank Spencer.
Thank you, Bob. And
Is
look,
it loud
guys, I know that the colour's gone from the thing. It's okay. We get technical issues occasionally.
So if you're at the conference, I assume you're going to be looking at black and white PowerPoint presentation.
We roll with it, right? And this is really quite a momentous meeting. I look around the room, there's about 50 of us in here.
Hallelujah.
And as I was talking to the leaders earlier, make no mistake, the leaders are right behind.
Leaders is a new name for people that have scammed people who are salesmen. They call them leaders because they try to make out they're like the apostles or the Jesus in the Bible, but they're not
I am
leaders.
picking that up too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like leader means you've been around before.
Yes. But
Yeah.
like, let's use Savage because Savage, I call him Salvage. He's Salvage. Because
Salvage.
he's only been around
Savage.
4 months. He never existed beforehand. And we always say to people, if you know more about where he's from, please go to my website and submit information about anyone that you know is running a Ponzi scheme or a scam because I want to know about them. Now, we've been following We Are All Satoshi, and Rob is a specialist at reviewing potential Ponzi schemes and scams. I am a bull in a china shop. I go in there and I break all the dishes and I go, well, I thought you guys sold dishes in here. And yeah, but Rob's a bit more subtle. He does more research than me.
I don't think I've ever called anything a Ponzi scheme.
Very well.
I have said that it looks like one. It may look like one.
Yeah, you use may, and it could be possibly if you do and do your own research. I'm so sick of hearing people say do your own due diligence that I just go.
You should do your own due diligence, Danny. Have you done your due diligence on We Global, aka the blockchain era?
I've got this philosophy that everyone should use, and the first thing is, does it have crypto? And guess what happens if it does have crypto?
Has it got multi-level marketing?
No. If it's got crypto, it's a red flag. So if anything's got crypto and doesn't have a real bank account, doesn't have
I really wish I had a red flag.
I'm going to
we
buy
need
some.
Physical red flags.
I'm going to buy some, honestly. I don't know how it's going to work on the green screen, but they're not green
that's got a
flags.
red flag on it.
Yeah, I'll hold it. Have I got a red flag? It's not red. I haven't got a red
Just hope
flag.
there's no bulls around.
I'm amazed that that works because that's sort of greenish and my
Hold
green
on.
screen. There we go. You're going to go get a green. Rob, you got friggin' you've got your undies on. Jesus, mate. It's really hot in New Zealand. He's just been out swimming. We've already had a naked man. Tell us about your naked man.
They got dinosaur. Yeah. Woo.
Yeah. Okay, that could be the red flag. So the first thing I listen to is if it has crypto.
Dinosaur boxes, mate. You can't beat that.
Yeah, they're not boxes, mate.
This video take off, mate. This will go viral with those on.
Well, Rob did a video today. If you go to Rob's YouTube channel, in fact, if you go to my YouTube channel, go to the homepage, and there you'll see a playlist dedicated to all Rob's videos. And today he did a video of a guy that was recorded on a We Are All Satoshi a meeting, and the guy decided to strip naked in front of the camera, go have a shower,
classic.
and then come back and dress himself in front of the camera, and no one noticed. And he was on pinned, so he's pinned.
He was so lucky. He walked back in. He was holding the the towel in a really weird way, but he didn't realise that the video was on. But he was so lucky he was holding it that way.
Even after he got dressed, it carried on like it was nothing dead normal.
And that we would have exposed another.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know that you call it a scam, but
So where did we get to? We were, oh yes, we're talking about the difference between Rob and I. I'm fearless. I've already been, somebody's already tried to sue me in the New Zealand High Court for $3.8 million. They lost. They had to pay my legal fees of $27,500. Thank you very much. And I'm making money. I'm living the Kiwi dream. But yeah, we've got to be cautious out there because these guys that we are, even though we're jovial and we're having a bit of a laugh, it's a very serious thing. And I don't want to make fun of people that have invested in these opportunities thinking they are real and they literally have lost their life savings. But if we took this shit seriously, we would be mental. And I already have a few issues that I don't want to talk about on camera. Did I just... No. Yeah, so what I'm saying is we're sorry if you've lost money. But we want to help you.
I think that noise was the doorbell. There's three men in big white jackets.
Oh, that's the wrong one. I do have doorbells.
Yeah. Are you going to let them in?
I don't know that.
Are
Funny.
you?
Funny.
Now, go on.
Hey, I'm not home. I'm doing it live.
They know you're home.
I'm home?
Helen's already answered the door.
I want a home. I wish I was home once. All right, so let's carry on. We've got Frank, who I've introduced, he was now, because of Diego and Steve Condos and the other guy, Martin Spencer, are too scared to come to New Zealand. They've decided to give Frank, who lives in Rangiora, which is kind of like a hillbilly town to live in. I used to live in Rangiora. He lives in the country, and now he's a keynote speaker,
How
for
can
God's
you
sake.
say that?
I used to have horses, so I had to live in the country. But this guy is...
I'm looking the wrong way, aren't I? I need to go. How can you say that?
Hey, we've got a... I don't know, Rob. This is working?
No, it goes the opposite way, I think.
Hey, listen.
United in what we're going to do. We're going to grow this region. And every one of us sitting in this room today, I want you to look around. Remember the people who are in this room. Because 2 years from now, not even that, 12 months from now, we're going to be a lot bigger than we are. We will outgrow this place in who knows how many months.
I'm a lot
People
bigger
that
than
we've
I
got
was
coming
12 months
in,
ago.
Maybe it's what you feed yourself on, you know? Like, are they going to feed these people sugar? Or is it like gremlins and you give them water?
Chocolate.
I love chocolate. I've gone plant-based, and I've now fallen in love with Whittaker's plant-based chocolate. This is not a paid commercial. In fact, I wish it was a paid commercial, because then I'd get money for doing these commercials.
The following months, it won't be me up here every month. We'll be flying in leaders from Australia.
Leaders from Australia. I think that's Steve Condos, who brought OneCoin into Australia.
Why would they fly them in?
Well, it's a long way to row.
Are they flying them in just for the presentations?
Well, I mean, Australia isn't... I mean, this is crazy. Like, Steve Condos is the guy that brought OneCoin to New Zealand and Australia. And all of a sudden, he's now like the guy that's trying to get We Global. And this is the guy they're talking about flying in from Australia. Now, in this conference, they've actually tried to rebrand themselves because of the stigma that's known by the name We Global. So now they're going to call themselves Blockchain Era.
Yeah. So We We Global has fallen over, has it?
No. Well, no, they've ceased all the withdrawals. But don't worry, your money is safe with us. We have not spent it on flash cars and overseas trips and trips back and forth to Dubai like it's a morning commute. We have invested the money. And if you look at the Monopoly money game that you're playing on the phone with the software they provide, you can see your money.
Do they go to Dubai as well?
They're in Dubai. Diegos, and there's another guy, which I forget the name of, but he looks like he's full of... It looks like he's covered in Vaseline and you can't catch him. So...
What is it about Dubai with all these people, like from other projects, opportunities, whatever it is that you want to call them?
Well, it's the scam capital of the world. That's where everyone goes. This is another red flag that I've never mentioned. If anyone is trying to tell you to invest in an investment opportunity, red flag, waves red, that's a good red flag, and they live in Dubai, then question the fact, why are they living in Dubai?
I've been to Dubai.
Rob, I never knew you was a scammer.
It's hot. It's
Yeah.
very hot.
Yeah.
Even when it's comparatively not hot, it's hot.
Well, Kiwis
Oh,
are
yes.
like, today I think it got from 12 to, would you put your red flag down? Look, the crypto sage is showing and I can't see your red t-shirt. That's weird,
Look,
eh?
but don't touch.
Yeah. I'm wearing a new t-shirt today. Well, while we're showing t-shirts, let me show you mine. It's not the ideal t-shirt to be wearing in front of a green screen, but let me show you. You ready?
Go for it. I hate to tell you this, Danny, but you're becoming transparent.
That's why I said it's not the ideal shirt.
I could see straight through you, and I bet our viewers could as well.
Now, every day I wear a t-shirt, I put it in the wash. And this one, I love it so much, I wore it 4 days in a row. But let's not go there. All right, let's carry on. You ready? Let's hear about Frankie.
And I really want to talk to you in this keynote address.
I think it's his first keynote speech. You know what it was like when I did my first
Is
keynote?
that Frank talking?
Yes.
Okay.
This last part before we break in 40 minutes at 5:30, and we'll come back at 7. Tonight will be a completely different atmosphere.
How long was it?
Tonight's
You don't want to know, mate, because you will want to go to bed halfway through. 50 minutes.
What, they had 50 minutes?
No, this is the first half.
Oh,
I tell you what happened. My mate who went along and
there
recorded
are two
this-
halves.
Yeah, there's two halves, but I only got the first half because he went to the first half and he was so angry and so perplexed that he said when it come to the second half, he told his mate that he had dysentery or he had cancer or he had to get his appendix out because he didn't want to go back to the second half.
Hold on. Who said that?
I can't tell you these things. I've got
What?
Avengers.
This was one of your Avengers
Yes.
who went there with another Avenger or a friend.
No, he went
and the
there with
friend
a
stayed
guy
on.
that was trying to get him to invest in it, and he coerced him to go along and sit there with him.
Right. I got you. Okay.
And I will not tell you why we've got such a good recording because it may give away his identity.
Yeah, well, won't do that. We won't do that. On with the show.
Yep.
Our teaching tonight will be about inspiration,
Inspiration. Stories.
and we've got the big talk tonight.
The big talk.
If you were happy with 4 nights in Auckland, 7 nights in Bali, wait to see what we're going to draw tonight. Shall I tell you what we're going to draw tonight for the major prize?
So they've got a giveaway.
Who wants to know? Who doesn't want to know? There's a few that don't. So we leave it as a surprise thing.
Now, I remember Kalpesh Patel doing one of these seminars, and I found this video of him walking to the 11 people that were in the front of the seminar, and he told them their job was to create the hype, and their job was to scatter themselves throughout the audience, and when he said something funny, even if it wasn't funny, was to make noise. And I can hear this in this audience, that there's non-believers on the fence, and there's total believers, and there's people that are hoping they're not going to lose their investment in the audience. And you can hear them when they say clap, all this, so you can hear them coming into the audience. You know what I'm saying?
If you were impressed with that, wait till you see tonight's job. And there's the thing about that too, you could be here to assess it. You're not here. You're here. Right? And I'm glad that you mentioned before too, Bob, that, if one of the people with lanyards around their neck gets drawn, just understand we're all volunteers here. We're not professional presenters.
We're all volunteers. We're not professional presenters. Or is that
They
presenter?
are pretty damn good, though. I have to say, most of these guys are quite talented, eh?
Well, they've had a lot of practice. Now, if you don't know
Yeah.
Rob and you don't know why, I'm Danny, but we've done a lot of training at public speaking. So we're not listening to the words, we're listening to the pitch and the way they actually throw this at the audience. And a lot of these guys, I believe, have got NLP training, and they know how to coerce and get the audience engaged. They know how to get them charismatic, and it's just a hum. And at the end of it, people often go along with the herd mentality where, because the guy next to me is doing it, I will do it as well.
And NLP, of course, stands for Numerical Literacy Program.
Now you tell me.
Not yet. We will be. And we will be. These numbers here, make no mistake, I've seen it before. We can take this to 500 in Christchurch, 1,000 in Auckland, 5,000 in Auckland, 10,000 in Auckland, and I say Auckland because let's face it, that's where the majority of Kiwis are. We can maybe get 500, 600, 700 here in Christchurch easily, and we'll grow that to 1,000, and then beyond that, wherever we go with it will be the adventure. And so, look, if you got a little bit about what I said earlier, when I put that diagram up and I talked about this thing, being a node in that network, our job is to get 100 million of these out there.
100 million people involved. You know, when I heard about this
That's
originally,
a lot of red flags, mate.
the David Farrier, he actually did an article about the guy that was doing the presentation in Auckland, and it was back in December 2022. And then the guy started getting his back up and said, if you don't stop saying stuff about me, I'm going to do a class action, well, not a class action, a lawsuit against you for defamation. And David Farrier said, bring it on, brother, because he uses the same lawyers I use, which is really cool. But the guy backed down and he sent him a cease and desist letter. And the guy is now, I've tried contacting the guy. He is so wimpy. He won't even speak to me on the phone because he's a coward. But now they're telling us that 100 million people. Now to get 100 million people together, it sounds like 100 million. 100 million
You're going
people.
to need a big room, aren't you?
Well, that's just stupid talk. But big numbers.
Well, you're just going to need a big room. And imagine the speakers and microphones you're going to need.
Well, you'd have to get those lapel things. Hello?
You would. Because once they've got a little lapel mic, you know.
Is that you, Rob?
You know they're
Rob?
good. Next level. Next level.
Next level. Is this you, Rob? Because I'm not sure if it's Mildred or Rob.
Next level.
We like our microphones. Must say, my microphone's better than your microphone, Rob.
It's not, actually, but good that you think that.
You often ring me up and say you sound good on mic.
Yeah, I know.
Have I rang you up and said that to you?
Your voice is fantastic. Your mic is average.
Let's just carry on. Let's listen to the opportunity.
My voice is crap. My mic is fantastic.
Let's keep listening to the opportunity of a lifetime.
Company-wide, right? And we will. Everybody uses phones. That's only 100 million.
Everyone uses phones.
1.29 billion phones sold in 2022. That's only, what, 1/29th of that?
What did he say?
That's like definitely comparing apples with very small oranges.
Well, it is. It's like everyone has a phone. Everyone in the world has a phone, and all of a sudden they're going to tap into the market.
Yeah, anyone who's got a phone, if we can get 1/29th of them, then we'll achieve our goal of 100 million.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Why do you think people want those phones? I've got to admit, like, these phones, I'm still working it out. It's part of me. Yeah.
They're not talking about the phone now, are they?
Oh, they are. He held up a phone claiming that this phone's going to be there in 2 weeks. The same phone that was going to be there 3 months ago hasn't been released yet. And they were talking about their phones are going to be able to mint.
How long ago was this recording?
Saturday. It's 6
Just a
days
week
ago.
ago.
6 days ago.
Oh, so they're talking about they may sell 100 million phones and get 1/29th of the worldwide market.
No, no, I don't know. I didn't quite follow it. I went there. Anyway.
I just worked something out 2 nights ago, about 3 o'clock in the morning. Last few days I've been up thinking, how's this today going to go, right? And I worked out there's a button on the side of the phone here that's used when people do this, you know.
What do you, because we haven't got the visual.
It's quite frustrating. I'd be interested
what button
to know
do you
what
think he
he's
pushed
done
on the phone? Has he added maybe it's got a torch on the phone.
I would have thought it was the mute button, but I don't know why.
Yeah. Everyone thought it was funny.
And every other girl her age.
Do you think he's surfing the web and looking at like teenage?
I've never taken a selfie in my life.
Oh my God! It's got a selfie button.
I tried once. This is what it's like for me anyway. I tried it once. And I thought, no, I can handle that right.
Would be handy.
My thumb off that before it drops. Now I meet people all the time and I can see their phone. I know what their phones are cracked. They're doing this. Has anybody dropped the phone doing a selfie? So yeah, a couple, 1, 2, right? Hey, with this,
My recorder has obviously got the phone in his pocket, so my apologies for pocket noise.
That's right there. Right on the side. I just worked that out 2 nights ago. And I was going to post a photo because I'm quite proud of myself at 3 a.m.
So let me get this right. Frank, whatever his name is from Wewe.Global, discovered that his phone had a selfie mode and took a photo of himself at 3 a.m. in the morning. That's what we've got out of this conversation so far.
Now, I'll tell you what, if you could get hold of that selfie, Danny.
Hey, I'll be able to sell it. We could mint it as an NFT.
Oh, you could.
And I thought, how smart is that? Right? And that's just a little feature of the phone. This has got a lot more punch to it. Anyway, I just really want to cover off a couple of things.
Do you think this phone's going to take Apple off the market or Samsung off the market?
Oh, look, absolutely. Look, it's going to crush the iPhone. It's going to set records. It's going to exceed the Samsung Galaxy, like all the various models. It's going to be like, you'll either own that phone or you'll be considered poor.
Can you think of any phones that you saw on the market when you were growing up? Like, what's the TV brand? Is it Sayon? The TV, Sayon. It's in the warehouse.
Sanyo.
Sanyo. Did Sanyo ever come out with a phone?
Oh, I don't know. I
think they might have, because I used to, my best
If this
cell
was
phone,
a quiz, I'd go yes.
my best cell phone ever was one called OKI. And it was
OK phone.
and it was a brilliant phone. And I also had another phone at one stage, the Nokia communicator, and it was a phone that was long and narrow, and you could lift it up and it had a keyboard in it. And I remember that. And then I remember buying the Nokia 95 was my favourite phone ever. That was the first phone that you could actually record video on and send it to somebody as a text.
I can actually confirm that we have done our due diligence, ladies and gentlemen. If you're listening, Sanyo did produce phones.
All right.
But they're quite old phones, and I think their most famous one was the Sony flip phone.
So theoretically, you've got We Global, who has decided halfway through their inauguration that they're going to rebrand themselves to Blockchain Era, and they're also going to come out a phone that's going to be breathtaking, jaw-dropping, and it's got 2 operating systems in it that is going to be able to mint crypto or tokens. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I just couldn't work out, and maybe someone, if they do know the answer, maybe Frank or Steve or whoever, if there's anything that you disagree with what Danny said, go and put it in the comments.
No, we don't want to jam up the comments,
everybody
mate.
can learn, including, can this phone actually do a selfie? And what was the other question?
I can't remember.
I can't remember either, but, I just rewind the video, you'll find it.
We talked about, let me show you. We've actually changed this industry with what we got. Make no mistake.
They've changed the industry with what they've got, make no mistake, and it hasn't been released yet.
That's what I was going to ask. Why do you need a special phone to mine? Like, why can't you just put the same software, must be software, into one of the powerful phones like an iPhone or a Galaxy? What do they call the top line Galaxy? Galaxy S something?
I know, 21 Ultra
or a Note.
S.
Yeah.
Note, actually. Because this is a Ponzi scheme and they need to come up with a product or a service so they can not have the stigma around them as Ponzi scheme.
Okay.
Are you happy with that?
Perfect.
Right.
Ecstatic.
Let's carry on.
A lot of people will say, is that one of those pyramid deals where I got to bring one of my friends in and end up with a garage full of stuff that I can't sell for the next 5 years? We've all had that experience. Right?
No, I ain't got a garage.
In the past.
The girl beside the guy that's recording this must be like taking her happy pills because you can hear her giggling at everything he says.
Product-based businesses, and tonight I'm going to tell you my story, right? The real story.
The real story. So that would insinuate that he normally tells unreal stories.
And nothing but the real story.
True, Rob.
Because I didn't plan on being here. This wasn't my gig.
What?
My background, I'll tell you tonight, I was one of these IT professionals.
IT professional. Wow.
I was right into my corporate act until I retired from that. What's that, 20 years ago? Early 2004.
Obviously, you must have been an IT professional as well, Rob, because looking at Frank's here, he's lost nearly all of it. But you have lost all of yours.
And that when I left school, I wanted to study computer science. So I would have been, but I'm not.
Right.
I had to have a job since. And I never have to again. I didn't do it from this business, but I understand what this business can do.
He understands what this business can do, and this is commercial because at the moment we are actually streaming this recording live onto the internet. And we are so fortunate, we currently have 5 people in our recording who may possibly want to subscribe to these YouTube channels, because I looked at my stats today, 26% of people that are watching my lives are not subscribed. So if you're one of those 26%, make sure you subscribe. The other one is We Love Coffee, so you can buy us a cup of coffee. And now there's 7 people in the room. And also the other one...
They could be listening to this on one of these flash phones.
They might be. And the other thing, which is really ironic, is if anyone wants to ask any questions along the way about We Are All Satoshi, I'll give it a go, answering it. Oh.
I did it on property, if you're interested. That's what happened. I got involved in property investing back in late...
He'd become a real estate agent by the sounds of it.
1990s, 2003. I realised at that point my time was short. Lifetime. Right? If you put it out on a line, right, I realised at 40, I'm probably, let's say I live to 80, I don't know how long I'm going to live.
It's pretty morbid.
But I was already 50% all across that line. And some of us don't know how long we got. I could be using up, anyway. That's something I'll talk about tonight, you know. What I want to cover this afternoon...
Actually, I'm going to criticise his public speaking skills. I think he's shit.
Well, you could say that he's engaging the audience, because I'm quite fascinated with what he says. Not that I totally understand a hell of a lot of it.
By touching on what I said before about how we're changing this industry.
They all say that.
They're changing the industry, but they haven't done nothing.
Yeah, but everybody's changing the industry. Why don't they just leave the industry alone and make some money?
They're talking about the crypto industry. So has it been changed? Has it been changed?
We're at the start of a new technology. We're not going to do it the way it's been done for decades. We don't have to. This here is our game changer, and as Greg said, let me show you. Imagine if you're sitting there and then what sort of phone is that?
Imagine that you're sitting there and your friend Rob comes over to you and he goes, "Hey Danny, what have you got there?" And I say, "This is not the normal cell phone, Rob. This phone enables me to talk to God. I can ask God to tell me what's going to happen in the future." And Rob would say,
"Ask God who's going to be the first 3 place getters in the Melbourne Cup."
I want the lotto numbers. Okay, I get that. I'm happy about that. I'm going to carry on.
It's an iPhone, one smartphone. What's so great about it? Well, it's the only phone in the market, number one, that actually generates an income for the owner. We have no competition. It's the first phone globally that can marry Web3 based applications with a telephone. And if you understood what Paul said about loading it with CLFI, especially now on the 7X, it's worth over $500 a month.
What?
I'm just doing some due diligence. And apparently, as of April the 18th, ladies and gentlemen, It's got on NFT.com, which is an interesting.
Oh,
website.
go to that thing. Go to that
Oh, yes.
yeah, and ask it about the phone. Is it possible?
Hey, Shavies, I'm taking your advice to do some research on the best AI tool in the world, perplexity.ai.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say,
Ask it
because he said that this is the only cell phone that can do Web3 applications, correct?
I'm just sort of wondering if you should ask Perplexity whether it is possible to mine for tokens or Bitcoin via a mobile device.
Okay. So I asked it how many cell phones can do Web3 applications, and it said the search results provide information on various Web3 phones that are available in the market. Well, obviously there's multiple phones, but there is no specific information on how many cell phones can do Web3 applications. However, it is clear that the number of Web3 apps available for download is growing almost 5 times faster in 2022 than in 2021.
12 months.
So these Web3 applications have been available for the last 2 years. So obviously there were phones out there that could do it. So what is he talking about?
Are they
If
Pacific
we got
phones?
it wrong, put it in the comment section below.
And we have our first chatter. His name is Chris West, and he said, "Hello, sir. Love the show." That's us.
Hello, sir. He's talking to me.
Oh, right. I see what you're saying there. I'm not friends with you anymore.
How many of us are married? We've got partners, kids. How many in a typical household? 3, 4, maybe 5?
How many cups of coffee do you have every day? 4, 5, 10?
I hear somebody said before they had 6 kids.
Oh my God, get some birth control.
I'm sitting there getting a haircut, thinking I better get a haircut. This young fella, he's had the talking. And you know, how many kids you got?
So it said, I asked, can smartphones mine crypto? Because from what I heard, he was saying that nothing can.
Yeah.
And apparently, yes, it is possible to mine cryptocurrency on smartphones. However, it is not very profitable due to the limited computing power of smartphones compared to specialized mining equipments like ASICs, mining apps like MinerGate, and joining mining pools like Antpool, Poolin, BTC.com, F2 Pool, and via BTC are some of the ways to mine cryptocurrencies on smartphones.
Actually, come to think of it, even going by what we've learned lately from We Are All Satoshi, it becomes more difficult to mine for Bitcoin, or I'm going to call them tokens because these aren't plugged into real exchanges. So if that's the case, you might be able to start off mining on a cell phone, but when the complexity of the algorithm gets a little bit more difficult, then you might need to take it to a desktop computer, and then you might need to take it to something that burns electricity like it's going out of fashion.
Like a lot of B fuel.
Hey, I don't want you to start talking about B fuel because that is very expensive. Hey, let's talk about BTTC, because that's that coin that if you want to sell your BTTC Bitcoin at the moment, Chavis from We Are All Satoshi will buy anyone's coin. Have I said that right?
By the lot.
He'll buy the lot because it's so valuable, even though it's his own company coin.
All in.
All in.
And he said, well, I got 6, the youngest is 4. And I look at the girl, lady cutting my hair, she looked at me and just rolled her eyes up like that, right? But hey, some of us come from larger families. Imagine 4.
I don't have any kids.
And a house, 500 a month.
Hey? You have one. Does she use a cell phone?
No, I bought her one. I don't know, she didn't.
What do you mean she doesn't use a cell phone?
It wasn't cool enough.
No way. Did you go
Couldn't
get her
mine cryptocurrency, mate, so she wasn't interested.
Oh, everyone wants a phone that's going to mine. You know, the idea of having a phone that you buy and it starts making you a fortune, does that sound too good to be true? You buy this phone and all of a sudden you dial up We Global and you use their phone and it makes you money. You just got to buy the phone.
Mate, it's like a rabbit all right, you go to sleep at night. When you wake up, after you've plugged it in, there's this pile of things that it's left behind in the morning.
A rabbit. Did you realise?
I'd like to see you trade them, but go for it.
I used to have rabbits when I was a kid. They actually eat their own poo.
I wonder if the smartphone eats its own coins.
Well, we'll find out soon.
There's 2,000 a month coming into that household. They've already got phones. Everybody's got them. That's our market. Total game changer. So the way we do things is going to be a little bit different. So what I've got up on the screen behind.
Oh, this is stupid. When did they invent the telephone? Can you ask?
Alexander Graham Bell invented the phone, and I'm going to say it's about 1893. So there we go.
Now, if you don't know Rob, he goes to quiz nights. So this is his moment to realise what era did they bring out the phone. Did you say 1893?
1893. I'm probably miles out.
I
It was
actually-
1870s. Development of the telephone. Italian innovator Antonio Meucci is credited with inventing the first basic phone in 1849.
Because Bell stole it, didn't
Frenchman Charles Boursuel devised a phone in 1854, but Alexander Graham Bell won the first US patent in 1876. I wonder if there was something in 1893.
So what did you say, 1896?
1876.
So before that, they used tin
And-
cans and string, right?
Yeah, pretty. Oh, hold on. Oh, wait. I am so excited here because although I was wrong that I think Alexander Graham Bell's patent ended in 1893. So I did remember something.
Chris West has asked how much the phone is. Now, it was originally around about 1,250 or 1,300 euros to buy it, but I've heard that the phone has now dropped to $550, but I could be wrong. We haven't found that out yet. I'm sure it will be announced in the speech. But the funny thing about that is, wouldn't you be ripped off if you paid 1,300 euros for the phone, never received it, and then before they deliver the phone, they decide to drop the price of the phone? So we don't know if that's correct or not, but that's what I've heard. So let's see what happens. Should we carry on?
Yep.
And I apologise for the colour. That's what we've been teaching, the community builders wheel. Now I know there's two types of people in this room.
There's two types of people in this room.
There are some that just
Actually, if
want
we're going on gender, could be 5.
Hey, I don't know what gender you are, transverse gender.
I identify as a they.
As a what?
They.
A Dave.
They.
Oh, they. I'm a them.
They.
I
No,
like
I don't.
they
I'm
and
a
them.
him, his.
Yeah.
Is it?
have funds to work for them. Yeah, I don't know if I want to build. I would suggest to you, if you, depending on what it is that drives you, and I'll talk about my drivers tonight, it's worth it.
Oh, it's worth it, mate. You get that phone. It's worth it.
Pretty convincing presentation there, Daniel.
Well, the fact that we weren't there. I was actually trying to look out for this conference, and I thought I'll go along. And I thought I know that the reporter, Martin.
I would have paid $10 to have sat in and listened to this just for entertainment purposes.
I just thought if I went there, I'd get pissed off, because I went to another one where there was a lady called something or other, Sophie Hellman, and she was trying to tell people they could do drop shipping. And an hour into it, they were asking how many toothbrushes are sold every day, how many bamboo toothbrushes are sold every day on Amazon. And I put my hand up and went, 10,000. And then she said, how did you know that? And I said, yeah, whatever. Anyway, then I stood up and I said to everyone in the room, there was about 120 people in the room, that if you invest in this Sophie project thing, you're going to lose all your money. I've done drop shipping. What they're preaching you is a lie. And I turned around and walked out, and literally people followed me out of the room. But my point is, I wouldn't be able to sit through this whole seminar without putting my hand up and asking some question that might make me look like an idiot. Because people don't ask questions about this shit. That if you do...
Well, it can be actually really embarrassing. Like if the person up the front sounds really, as if they're speaking with a lot of conviction, and these people, I think, would, to kind of contradict them would be a bit of a cringe moment for people in the audience, wouldn't it?
They would criticise you. They really would. And that's that kind of approach I got, and everyone thinks you're an idiot. I even had a lawyer in the meeting of one of these thingies I went along to, and I texted him and told him not to invest in this opportunity. I was there on a reconnaissance run, and he said, oh, no, I think it's legit. And he paid into this Ponzi scheme thing, and 2 days later, it was in the newspaper that everyone that went to this conference lost all their money. And so I texted him, and I said, how'd you get on? He goes, I'm trying to get Visa to give me my money back at the moment. And I'm thinking, oh, my God. And this was a partner in a big lawyer, the same legal company that tried to prosecute me for $3.8 million. He was a partner in it at the time. It was just ridiculous. And that's what I wrote back to these companies when they were trying to sue me, is how can a partner in your company not spot a scam and then try to prosecute me for a scam at the same time? You're idiots. They didn't like that.
A lot of us are in jobs or roles. A lot of us didn't understand when COVID hit, for example.
He's playing on people's emotions right there.
Right? And all of a sudden their job wasn't that secure. Some of us didn't want to get the needle. I'm one of them. It's irrelevant to what we're talking about. But a lot of people didn't have a choice. They needed an income.
This guy isn't any good, Rob. He can't speak for shit. He's reading a paragraph at a time. He's nervous. I know you stutter, but his breathing technique in this presentation is poor. He's nervous. He's on his back foot. I can hear it in his voice without seeing him.
Now, when you don't have a choice, and that's all money does, is it provides you options. Doesn't make you a better person, doesn't make you a less person if you don't have it. We're all born equal. We are equal.
Did he say legal?
I'm not too sure what he said.
Sometimes somebody might say to you, oh, you're just after money.
Yes. I might have said lethal.
Small thinking.
Oh, that's NLP training there. Tell the audience that they're small thinking, and if they start thinking small, they're criticised. And he's just laced that into the conversation.
It's not about the money. It's about the options. You might have some options that they won't have with what's coming.
So I don't want to keep interrupting, but I'm going to anyway. He's talking about options already. So at the end of this presentation, I can guarantee you will have options. And it's not about the money, it's about the options. It's not how much these options cost, it's about the options that you pick. And whether you want to be a successful person or a bottom feeder of the ocean. And this...
What mindset do you want?
Yeah, very true.
When you leave here today, do you want to have the same mindset that you walked in with, or do you want to change for the better and move into a world of abundance?
Very true, Rob. Very wise.
I don't want to get too down into that track, because we'll talk about that.
We're going to talk about that.
You've got to understand a few things. I'll expand on that tonight.
He's going to expand.
But that's the way that we've been teaching people to build the networks. First of all, come and set goals. What is it you want? Because without the desire, you're not going to do any of it. You can.
I just heard him say this is how they're going to build the networks. So they've gone from selling cell phones with functionality to building networks. So I'm interested about these networks that are going to start grooming people on now.
This is the whole thing. If these people were actually buying and selling, if this was buying and selling a smartphone that was going to mint, or even, if it was anything that had some kind of point of difference or value that equated to the cost and stuff, you'd think, hey, good on you. It's a free choice. But when you get into these networks, you think, if this is a scam, and this is going to put people's money at risk. And
Yeah.
you think, and you're going to do that with your friends and family and work colleagues, and it's just,
Ooh.
A little bit of resistance you'll have.
I don't-
It's normal. Right? You've got to be very clear on what it is you want.
Hey, Rob, be very clear in what you want.
Create a
I
list.
want
Make
a
an approach.
L5, what is it? L5 smartphone?
I don't even know what
Is
it's
that what
called.
it's
Have they given it a name? They haven't called it pear, have they? Banana? Orange?
Was it Lio? I can't remember. It's on YouTube, isn't it?
Everything's on YouTube, mate. Even me and you. People just need to search for Rob Woolley or Danny de Hek, and they will find our videos. I've done over I'm going to put up a wee clip. I've done over 500 videos exposing Ponzi schemes or scams, and it would be fair to say that I am rampant at naming and shaming anyone running a Ponzi scheme or a scam. In fact, it would be fair to say I'm a vigilante. I sort of tried going legal with these guys, and I rang up my mum one day and I said, "Mum, someone's trying to take my money. What are you going to do about it?" And she said, "Nothing." And then I gave up, and I thought, I'm going to be a vigilante. I'm going to name and expose and shame anyone that wants to run one of these Ponzi schemes. And I've found from my experience, while I'm on my rant, is these guys are cowards. No one really gets into our face and has a go at telling us that we're wrong. And I'm going, does that mean no one's looking at our
I
videos?
kind of wish that they'd engaged in that conversation, because and that is why I don't make any definitive statements, because I don't know. I can just have a look at what's in front of me and make up my own mind and express my opinion.
Yep.
But if I was really passionate about this, if I was a true believer, and I saw someone like you in particular, I'd be all over your videos saying, "Yeah, but Danny, you've got this wrong." And, when you say this, well, you're actually mistaken, because it's actually this. And so I just don't get why people aren't debating it with you in particular, because you're all over the place.
Yeah. Maybe they don't see it. I don't know.
Yeah.
What did you find on the interweb?
The phone, I feel like I'm selling the phone.
Oh, you got a phone? Did you know that everyone in the world has a phone?
There must be 2.9 billion people who have a phone, I think. Don't quote me on that, whatever he said before.
Should I ring up Diego?
100 million.
I'm going to ring up the owner of the company while you're talking. You carry on. I'll find his phone number. I think I've got his phone number.
The name of the phone is the LFI1 smartphone. So that's LFI1, that's ONE smartphone. And I thought that was the BBC News. It's on. I thought, oh wow, this has gone mainstream, but it's actually the BSC News. I don't know what BSC stands for, but we'll go and find out. And bsc.news, when it loads, is, what's that stand for? I don't know what it stands for. It's something to do with crypto and NFT by the looks of it. The LFI1 smartphone is here, and this was September 12th, 2023.
Can you see my phone?
Are you ringing him?
Yeah, this is the New Zealand and Australian top guy, Steve Condos.
It's running Android 13. It's got a 64 megapixel rear camera.
Short message and a contact number. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.
Please leave a detailed message after the tone. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Yeah, g'day, mate. It's Danny, your mate from New Zealand. I've just been listening to the conference that you guys had in Christchurch, and I was hoping that you might be able to send us 10 phones. We'd like to do a review on the phones. If you wouldn't mind, that would be great. I'll give you a PO box. Just send me an email and I'll get my people to talk to your people. And remember, I'm looking at you as you're looking at me, and I'll look at you as you're looking at me, okay? All right. See you, mate. Hope all's well. And remember, about time you upgraded that wee motorbike of yours. See you later, mate. Oh, one last thing. Has the ATO actually contacted you about not paying your tax for the last 3 years? Yeah. Don't know how they found that information out. Woohoo! See you, mate. All right, sorry, mate.
Danny, you're a naughty boy, Danny. I'll just rattle off this. The FI1 has a 6.78-inch high-definition display, 396 dots per inch, refresh rate of 120 hertz, Android 15, 64 megapixel rear camera, 20 megapixel wide lens, 5 megapixel macro lens, 20 megapixel front camera, and it can last all day because it's got a 6100 mAh. I can't remember what that stands for. Is it milliamps per hour battery?
So does it have
Some
two
of that's quite
operating systems?
impressive. Pardon?
It used to have 2 operating systems. Has that changed?
It says running Android 13 on an octa-core processor. I thought the processor, where I read somewhere, was actually a little bit out of date, but I could be wrong. Deliveries begin today. This is September. This is well over a month ago. It's September the 12th, but I haven't seen any online.
Oh, no, they don't actually exist, Rob. This is not real.
They walk around holding them on these ads that are online.
Mate, they had one on a video, which I should have brought up. I haven't got it. And the guy's walking around with a glove on, holding up the prototype of the phone. Bullshit, mate. Anyway, let's carry on listening.
Follow them up, set them up, done. It's not always easy. This is a very simple business,
Very
but
simple.
it's not necessarily easy because we all come at it from our angles of what we got and what we don't have. Now, I looked for 3 people when I learned to build networks.
Chris West is crying on my chat session. You can actually see him on the window. If you look below and you're on TV, you'll be able to see Chris West. He's our only person that's brave enough to have a chat with us at the moment. We have 5 people watching us do this live, and obviously it's going to be but he's crying. I don't know if it's crying with joy or laughter or terror.
First of all,
if we were a really good channel, then we'd be providing the person who asked the most questions in the chat room with a free phone by the end of the video. But we're not a good channel, so we don't.
Yeah, we're getting better. We are getting better. We're 50. I don't know if are you 50, Rob?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
He's 60. I'm 53.
No, I can actually say I'm not 50.
Oh, well, there you go. And you would curse that out of him. But anyway, we're the old people. I was watching Trilogy today, and they had 1,000 people on their lives. And I thought, wow. And people were throwing money at them like they were rock stars.
What was this?
This is on Trilogy. They are people that bust scams. Like... That was the pierogi.
You mean proper channels that are bigger than yours.
Yeah, but they've been going for a while. They started from the beginning, but I think our quality is a lot better.
Actually, not particularly in this order, but desire is important. They're going to have a personal desire to want to better themselves financially. Otherwise, I'm just pitching at somebody, and I'm not looking to pitch anybody into our deal.
Okay. Breathe in.
I like if they got integrity, obviously.
Oh, you've
But
got
thirdly, are they teachable?
Did you hear that shit word, integrity, he laced in there?
I missed that.
If someone that will get in this business, I'll do it my way.
My way.
Yeah, coach. We've got decades of that.
Decade.
We know what happens.
What happened?
All right. Got to be teachable, integrity, have a desire. They're all important things.
Desire.
And if somebody that you're talking to is not there, that matches tick those things off, that's okay. Move on.
Hey, where's your flies, Rob?
No, that was slapping you.
Oh, I thought he was trying to wave a fly off.
So let me show you, this initial introduction, let me show you levels the playing field for the person who doesn't have any networking experience.
Oh, levels the playing fields for anyone that doesn't have networking experience.
I have no networking experience. I'm a network virgin.
Well, you're their candidate, mate. You don't need to know nothing. All you need to do is put money in. That's all you need to know how to do, and they will help you do that.
Show me where.
What do you mean phone makes money?
I didn't say
I'm
that.
showing it. See those yellow phones? That's what I did yesterday. You see what the work?
Oh my guy's moving around with his phone in his pocket again.
How do I get one of them? Real easy. Got a credit card? You get one now.
Boom. You got a credit card, Rob?
I have. I got 2.
You can get one now.
And let me show them how to collateralise it. Because they'll get in, they'll talk to their friends, so on. 21-year-old son, talking to him the other day. How do I get one of those phones, Dad? I'm thinking, wow.
Remember, this phone hasn't been released yet, so this is all hypothetical.
Yeah.
He's never been pressured to do what I do. Right? I want him to do what he wants to do. But I know, with a phone in his hand, even if Dad's got to collateralise it. How many orders do you think will come through that?
None.
Right? So I'm going to say some things that I hope you get. The let me show you thing is really very straightforward. Let me show you my back office. That was taken 2 nights ago. Because I bought some machines, I bought a couple of contracts, and I collateralised them, I want to see it working. I didn't have the time last night to update the slide, I would have liked to have given you another day's work, but there's 237. Oh, by the way they do it in Europe, whenever we have a dot, they put a comma. Whenever they put a comma, it means a dot. That's 230, that's not 237,000 something. Right? That's 237 euros with the CLFI. You can see I've got 3 minting licenses over the top right. But of that 237, I can withdraw 142. Just after a couple of days. CLFI is worth $1.80 US. And of course, as Paul mentioned earlier, and he explained the 60/40, CLFI-R means I can use that to buy more minting licenses.
Ah, so you make money on the platform, and then you use that money to buy more minting licenses.
Can you find this presentation online?
No. I have been hunting for their Zoom meeting links. I can't find anywhere. I have got a PDF I did previously.
Why don't they have it online so that you could see it?
You might be right, actually. They actually might. I think I do have schedule, wave, criminal activities. What have we got? Associates in 4 minutes. Earning solution. I did do research on this company originally, and they had claimed to have 7 offices throughout the world. And it was actually Jim. He showed me that these guys, their offices were actually empty buildings. It's so funny. And one of their offices was real, but it was a shared office space like Regis, which is co-working space. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, so on their website, and of course I'm not going to make any suggestions as to their authenticity or integrity or anything like that.
Non-committal?
Very non-committal. It's got join us now, but
yeah, I think I did go through one of their presentations originally, but like one of
that you didn't.
Yeah, no, I've just if I made your screen go bigger.
Yeah, like I'm just having a look at their website, and it's got partnership. Their website is We.Global. Oh, that's it. Oh, yeah. Okay. So their website is We.Global, and they've got partnership system, market analysis, career rewards. Join us now, so you can join. But it doesn't actually talk you through anything. Like it hasn't got anything on their website that I can see.
Yeah.
That you can actually look at to be convinced to join.
No, they did have a presentation which I scooted off the internet probably 4 or 5 months ago, and they did a step through on it. I'll see if I can bring it up, because it was it was like their white paper. Did you know? I think Bitcoin's white paper's 9 pages long, and most of these companies have their own white paper, but they're like 20 plus pages because it's theoretically massive.
Yeah, I don't totally understand all these things about white papers and yellow pages. I kind of know what they mean, but yeah, you would think that it would be as small as possible so that people could understand it. I do think
KA,
their bloggers...
the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. I earned that name by the... Hold it. I wanted to see if I could bring up the presentation because if you look at the original presentation, you might not be able to see that. Or people may not see, but it's got like they've even got a travel club. They've got a referral program. They had bullshit. Here we go.
What? Oh, is this your video?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's got We Global as a platform of products and services. They are provided, whatever. But there's a lot of their disclaimer. If you read the disclaimer, you would never invest in the company whatsoever. They talk about their services and partners. Their partners that they claim they have don't exist because I can't find anyone that is associated with We We Global. What else do we have? I mustn't have done very good timestamps on this one. But this was basically, if you went through it, you know, and these things change and update all the time. I think they're but there. So this is the pictures of their computers that they claim will be able to mine and mint for over crypto or tokens. So the token coins are very much like We Are All Satoshi, where they could be worth anything or everything, but it's set by the people that buy and sell and trade in the same time.
Right. Which means it's not on an exchange or anything.
Yeah, and then this is the part that really gets me every time. You can actually get 36.5% if you're at the top of the chain for everyone that you refer into it.
How much?
36.5, but that's if you're at the top of the chain. So if you turn into God mode and you've been promoting this, then literally, I'll just make you a bit smaller, move you over here. So, yeah, so that was obviously, that video was recorded in February 2009. So it's actually nearly 8 months ago, isn't it?
You see, this is the thing that gets me with all of these things, is that when they have quite high referral bonuses, and did you say 36.5?
Yes, I'm pretty sure it was. This isn't the average person. This is a person that's got God mode.
So let's just assume that they were paying 3x, okay?
Yep.
If there were no referral bonuses and a person invested $1, that to get 3x, you'd have to supply them $3 back. So that $1 has to work really hard to basically treble it. But when they're giving away 36.5, and we'll just make this really simple.
I'll make it complicated.
Assume it's a third, so it's 33. Then you've got 66 cents that has to get up to $3. So 66 cents multiplied by about 4.5. All right, so that's about 4.5x after the referrals are paid. What do they put the money into that could possibly make 450 approximate %
cocaine
per annum?
The cartel. I mean, that's the only business I can think that would give that much return.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm not in the cartel
Do you
that
want to
I
join?
know of.
You have to
But like it just, you just think, well, there's just no way.
And this graph I'm looking at now, it's got 8 different reward structure plans, and they've called them iPhone, MacBook, Travel, Hobbit King Power, Mercedes CLA, Mercedes AMG, and the Lamborghini.
I want the Lamborghini.
Oh, and it's like, I think I'll just go back to see if there's anything else that really grabbed me. But when I looked at this presentation, I thought, like using AI, have a look at the computers. So this is the hardware that you can buy. I think it's a hardware. It didn't make any sense, but I think that might be like a memory pack. And then there it is.
Is it?
Well, this is the cloud-based servers, because I said I wanted to spend $50,000 on hardware.
Hold on. Can you go back to that previous page?
Probably can't, but that one?
Yeah. Because I just have to read this properly, but that first, where it's got 1, it says pick your solution, but then 2, active your license, 3, active your minting. Now this is, and I know I'm picky, but if you have a look at the number 1, pick your is in lowercase, solution is in capitals.
Very good, Rob.
And number 2, active your is in lowercase, licenses in capitals.
Yep.
But number 3, active your minting is all in capitals. And then the boost the process owning the collateral is all in capitals, which means it's not a professional layout. But then you've actually got poor English, because it should be under number 2, activate your license. And under number 3, it should be activate your minting. And this is where I think if you go online and have a look at any professional organization that you know exists outside of the crypto industry,
Yeah.
you wouldn't get that.
Well, Westpac was my bank, and they provide me PDFs all the time, and there's so many spelling mistakes. And there's grammatical error. No, there's none.
I was going to say.
I know. Yeah.
You just blow my argument right out of the water.
Yeah, bit of a laugh. Let's go have a look at another one. I'll go back a wee bit and just see if there's any other pictures that we should be looking at. What's this one here looking at? What the fuck?
Well, that one with the proof of stake and proof of blah-de-blah. I know there's a proof of work. I don't know that's related to that. I don't totally understand that crypto, so I'll be honest.
Yeah. Well, here's your hardware,
I
mate.
only comment on stuff I think I know.
Look at the picture, Rob. This proves that there's hardware. They've got hardware. It's in the picture.
Yeah, and they've got the phone upright and round the other way, and something that looks a little bit like a cube and a Mac Studio.
Yeah, because they've even got a photo in one of the other videos I did of these. What am I trying to say? They got a photo of them in the factory with the phones being minted, and I'm trying to use reverse image lookups to find the royalty-free images where they grabbed those videos. Because
if you have a look now, because I had a look the other day, only because I get quite fascinated by that phone, and whether it's real or could even possibly be real, is that they've got 3 new videos up there where they've got 3 Asian people separately, 1 video each, and they're talking about something, and it's obviously in the same setup that they ran those other videos on that you're talking about.
I'm actually, so what are we looking for? Global cell phones.
I think if you go, actually, I found one. If you type in LFI and then the word 1.
Okay. LFI 1.
Yep. And go to
images,
videos,
yep. There's the newspaper clipping and the
actually,
press.
if you remove We Global out of that search.
Okay, I'm just moving you out of here. I'll just make you a bit bigger so our audience can get the full Rob. Oh, there. All right, so we're going to go LF1.
Yeah.
Hey, we've got 7 people. Hey, that's awesome. David.
Right. So that one at the top, all
700
that's the
euros.
phone, but those aren't the ones. Scroll down and you'll see some Asian gentleman there. That one there?
That one?
Yep.
All right, I just need to put a filter on the screen. So it makes, there we go. Oh, I can't wait. Are you excited?
Well, no, because I've seen it, but...
okay. It's only 56 seconds long. Hey, we've got David
only short.
in here. He said 700 euros is his phone's cost. Oh, I don't want
It's about $1,400.
I'm going to turn the music off, no offense. I am David. No, I am Bob, and welcome to We Global production plant. Today,
Hi,
I'm
I
going
am
to...
Lou Ying.
Yeah,
We've designed
decided-
the user interface to be simple, clean, and easy to navigate for everyone. Our team of software engineers constantly work on updates to improve system performance and introduce new features. We also take user feedback seriously, using it to refine and enhance the user experience. With the L-Fi 1 smartphone, we aim to make technology more user-friendly and enjoyable.
Do you reckon this looks like Apple's back end? Like, do you imagine
Well-
Apple producing phones in this sort of imagery?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Oh, Judge
Is
Judy,
it
my favourite.
That's
What's this? Hold it. What's this video, Rob? This is the other meeting that Rob. This is the video Rob put out today, and this is We Are All Satoshi. And there's a guy that gets undressed, naked, has a shower, and then he's taking his pants off right there.
He is getting. He's about to drop his tax right
Yeah,
there.
yeah. And then they forget he's got his camera on. This is the sort of quality you get when you're busting Ponzi schemes. We get naked men. Look at him. He's
Unfortunately, you can't see too much.
Oh, here we go. We've got a message from David while that's playing. It says they claim they have received the iPhones, never seen real footage of the phone. Oh my God, this guy invested $4,000 and he's trying to get it back. So please save your hard-earned money and stay away from them. So here's a guy in our chat room who's literally invested $4,000 on these phones.
Oh, wow.
And he's telling us to please save your hard-earned money and stay away from them. And David, do you mind telling us how long ago you got told that these phones were just about to be released? That's a good question, isn't it?
Yeah. And what were you thinking of, David?
Well, it'll be interesting because we had Richard, the truck driver, who finally watched one of my videos and realised it was a scam, and he come on and told us his story. So that was awesome because a lot of people don't speak up about these things.
Absolutely. And if that is a first-hand example, yeah, it would be fantastic to know what the thinking was, like what convinced you. And
I know what it was.
stage-
I know what it was. David is going to tell us it's because it had a selfie button.
Mate, hey, right, the selfie button is the killer app, as they say.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Imagine if you had a selfie button on your phone, though, and I think there are selfie buttons on phones, but imagine how many selfies would you take by mistake?
Quite a few. Pixel loves socks, my dog. So I took all my socks out of the sock drawer today, which is about 30 pairs of socks, and put them all around him. And he was just like ecstasy on socks. And they were clean socks, not dirty socks. So I can imagine that people who love cell phones made by We We Global. Hey, this is confusing. We Global and We Are All Satoshi. We better get our story straight.
Yeah, I wonder if they're cousins.
Well, they all have the same people promoting them. It's been promoting every other Ponzi scheme. We better carry on, otherwise we'll be here until tomorrow morning.
Yep.
If I want to expand this, see, this is a program for everybody. Somebody who might have, I don't know, 10,000 to park somewhere for a while can put it in this program, and without putting in any more, can then use the 60% and put it on the 40%
What?
without putting in any more. And I've done the figures.
He's done the figures.
Let's say, for example, and I'll do, Greg, might get you and somebody else in a set, or if you can.
While he's trying to get himself in order, this is what really pisses me off about a lot of these Ponzi schemes. They go straight into the figures and how much you're going to make, but no one explains the mechanics of how this electric car is going to run and how it's going to sustain itself. It pisses me off.
Or why anybody outside of We Are All Satoshi, not that we're talking about that, would actually buy the BTCC coin.
Yeah. We've got more messages from David because I'm no good at reading them and I don't think you can see them. Can you see them
I
in the
can
chat?
see them. They were talking about them for a long time, and my upstream said that it's been shipped and they will receive it in the next few weeks. I put few in there. But as I said, they have all these Zoom calls. There were no single real footage of the phone, all animated footages. And yeah, well, I don't know that I've seen the animated footages or not, but footage.
Yeah.
But I have seen a phone from a distance that is made to look like
From
a
a
phone.
distance.
So whether that's the phone from a distance,
Yeah.
it looks like a minting smartphone.
Oh, I just turned off my wrong screen. I've just turned off something here. There we go. David, I know this might be a bit sensitive, but I would love to actually get the links to the Zoom meetings, because we have very talented people these days helping us out who can hack into these meetings. Let's just not mention Tugman. But if you do have the links to the Zoom meetings, please, I'm going to bring up a box about now. Boom, that's my website. Go to my website. You can submit it anonymously, but any links to their Zoom meetings, if you've got them, please give them to us. And David, we will not tell anyone your first name. We promise.
Or if anybody out there absolutely believes in it and wants to convince Danny, then they could email the Zoom links to Danny firsthand.
Yep. Be cool. All right, let's carry on and listen about this wonderful opportunity of a lifetime.
Now, grab that whiteboard for me, please, and the stand. We'll just set it up there. There's some pins there. Just up here, under some lights, which will light up in a minute. I want to draw some stuff out so you really get the figures. Okay. Oh, there we go. That's the first one at the top. You can see it says CLFI sell DX 11,000. So I bought an 11,000 package and I collateralized it.
Collateralized it.
Sounds painful.
Collateralized. Is that...
11,000 euros, put 22,000 euros in there. I don't want to work that out in New Zealand dollars. I'll probably not that much. Okay, but you can see there, it's already done 100. This is only after 3 days production. 3 days production. And then with that package, by the way, comes a free minter.
A free minter.
There's a Cloud X 1100. Oh, no, that's another one. No, that's the Cloud X one. There's another one. I can get it all on the one slide. There's another one. You get a free minter on that 11,000 package and a phone too, by the way. They throw that in.
A free phone that you never get.
They start turning over tokens. You can start withdrawing it. Now 7 times, as Paul said. So if you got, let's just say you had 10,000 in collateral. Well, that's 70,000 back to you. 70,000 euros. But you don't want to wait for it to...
7 times. Is that what he said?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh, Rob, I've got to go. I've got to get into this.
Yeah, okay. All right, see you, mate. All right, catch you tomorrow.
Yeah, mate.
Mate, I've just got the phone. Hello? Hello? Is anybody here?
Rob.
Hello?
These phones are
Hello?
friggin' awesome, mate.
Oh,
I've got one as well.
Mate,
Everyone's got them.
your one's bigger than mine, Danny.
Hey, I've heard that before. That's... All right, enough said. Anyway, we've got our phone. Hey, I should give you a ring sometime. Should we try ringing up Stephen again? I'll ring up Stephen while we listen to him.
Mate, don't make a phone call. It interrupts with the minting process.
Yeah. Oh my god. I think I don't know if I've got Frank's phone number. Let's see if I've got Frank's phone number. Yeah, I have got his phone number.
Breaking news in the chat room.
Oh,
is
let's ring
that
up Frank.
I appreciate your work.
Mate,
This is from
I've got Frank's phone number.
Frank. Oh,
Let's ring him up.
it's pre-built into the new LFI 1 smartphone.
Here we go. Frank. Don't be embarrassed, Rob. Let's see if he picks up. What's David's new comment?
Yeah, g'day. Frank here. Can't take your call, but if you leave a message, I'll come back to you shortly. Thanks.
Oh, you
At the
wise
tone,
man, Frank.
record your message.
G'day, Frank. I'm just listening to a recording of you talking last Saturday about the new We Global cell phone, and I'm overwhelmed with excitement. And I would really be interested in getting my hands on one of those, and especially when could I actually get one, because that just sounds like the ideal solution for me. And I'm actually in a family of 6 people, and I also want to get one for my doggy as well. His name's Pixel. Give me a ring, let me know, and I'm keen to take delivery of those phones. Have a great night, mate. And also, if you go to YouTube and search for your name, you will find a video of your presentation that you did on Saturday. And if you need some speaker training, we have some people that can really help you. Okay, mate. See you, dude. Carry on, shall we?
It could be a new client for you, Danny.
Drop to 6.9 or 6.8 or so on, the sooner you can capitalise on that, the better. So there is a depreciating return, and the number of days as each 2-week cycle reduces. Right. The server license table, I apologise for the fact that it's purple. Would have been easier to see it a little better.
The server.
Those there is the collateral amounts. You can go up.
What is a server license agreement? I got one of those when I signed up with 2 Degrees, I think.
To 2 times the value of your license. So the one in the middle there, €1,100, you can put up to €2,200 in. You don't have to put 2,200.
Oh, thank God for that, because I ain't got $2.
You can put 500 if you like.
I ain't got
Or
500.
1,100, you'll get half the production, but you're allowed to go up to 2 times the value of your license. So you can't get a $1,000 license, for example, and put 20 million on it. Can't do that.
Can't do that. Why can't you do that? Why?
Last week, did he have one of these phones there?
No,
to show
it was
everybody?
meant to be a prototype, which the guy that told me, who gave me this recording, told me that he could have been holding any phone because no one was allowed to see it because of privacy and all this sort of shit. So it wasn't, it was, yeah.
All right, you buy your phone. Hey, David, I got some really bad news. For up to this point, when you've made a mistake, you've had a pocket dial, but due to privacy, from now on, every dial that you make with this new phone will have to be a pocket dial. You can't even bring the phone out of your pocket because you'll be in breach of the Privacy Act.
Well said, Rob.
Okay? This is the bit I want you to get.
Oh, this is the bit they want you to get. I mean, can you imagine doing your now, Rob, you've been in an organisation, let's just call Toastmasters, and you've managed to get to the regional finals, right?
Well, actually, I got to the New Zealand finals.
Right, sorry. Well, okay. So, yeah, it's even bigger. So this guy has just said, this is the part that I want you to get. So wouldn't that just undo everything you've just said, that people aren't getting what you're saying?
Oh, not necessarily. I quite like that, as long as this is really big. Like this has to be the clincher. Like everything that I've said up to this point has been important. But if you leave with nothing else, what I'm about to tell you is the one key takeaway.
And what is that takeaway, sir? I'm excited. Tell me.
Lay it on me.
No, you're giving me the takeaway.
No, sorry.
Sure. Woo! Money shot.
I need your money.
Okay. Oh.
Nothing that I've said up to this point I can do without your money. Please, we take credit cards, we take Apple Pay, we take FPOS, and we take Sam Lee promissory notes as payment.
Do you think that no one's actually talking about the elephant in the room? I mean, how has this company not had any product or service until now and managed to sustain itself? Any ideas?
Pretty bloody clever, if you ask me.
As team builders, we get commissioned
As team builders. Everyone in the room is now a team builder.
on the volume points associated with each of these contracts, and you can see there the
Contracts. I like calling contracts agreements because they're not so vicious.
€2,200 one, you get 2,000 volume points. Same as commission points in this case. It's important to note that. because that's what we earn on, these points. So next time you see
Mickey Mouse?
a presentation, right, take a note of that.
Take notes. Long time to take
The
notes.
ranks, if you're going to build this thing, our goal is to help you get to executive director straight away. In the old scale, that was what we used to call a We We Global Director 3. 50,000 sales.
Sales? Hold it.
Wow.
I didn't know you had to sell this shit. I mean, I thought you just had to buy a cell phone, and now you have to sell these cell phones. Is that what we're hearing?
Well, I think he's talking about creating a network, but I'm not 100% sure.
In this program, we call it executive director. It's 60,000. Pretty much the same.
Pretty much the same. Executive director from a executive whatever, that was $50,000. Clear as mud here.
It's gone up 20% with inflation.
Oh.
Not really a major difference. Executive director is, if you're not there, you want to get there as quickly as possible.
Hurry, hurry, hurry. Get your popcorn while it's hot. Boop.
Step right up, ladies and gentlemen.
Hurry, hurry, hurry.
Get your smartphone here.
Think about this, right? On the scale of things, you can see where executive director is.
Of course, we haven't got a
we
graph.
go all the way up to Royal Ambassador. One more than what was previously known as Crown. And before that, Elite Ambassador. It's that Elite Ambassador. So we got the director ranks, we got the ambassador ranks.
I'm confused already. My head hurts. Oh my God. I just wanted a friggin' cell phone. Is this Vodafone or 2 degrees?
Spark.
Executive director. There's 60,000 in sales.
Jesus.
In this program, it's very straightforward. Who do you know that doesn't want to make 7x on their money, on their collateral?
7x.
Who did you say?
7x.
Yeah. That's not much, is it?
Only
you put
700% per annum.
Well, if you put $100
I assume it is
in,
per annum.
so $100 is going to turn into 700 or 800.
A lot.
A lot of money.
It's not like the old program where you put one in and got three back.
Oh, I don't like the old program.
3x.
Three.
You're going to take one of those three and put it back in to make the next three.
Oh.
You put one in this, you get 7 back.
Oh.
And of the 7 back you get, that's subject to the 60-40 split. 60% you can have straight out. 40% you can automatically buy and acquire new minting licenses, which you can then further collateralise without putting any more money in.
This would probably be a good time to reiterate the fact that they are rebranding themselves because that they've suspended the withdrawals and people can't get their money out. That's a real valid point. So everything they're talking about doing at the moment is telling you can't get your money off the platform. So even this is stupid. Right now, you cannot get your money out of We Global. So they've rebranded themselves.
Yeah, many times you can't get your money out of a project because there's no liquidity, which usually means that the amount of money going out of the system has exceeded the amount of money coming into the system.
David has just asked us, thank you, Rob, what is a KYC exit scam? So know your own customers, what KY. The company has also fed their investors a know your own customer exit. So what that actually means from my understanding.
I can answer this question.
Oh, yeah, I thought I knew the answer. Come on, Rob.
A KYC exit scam is a type of fraud where scammers use fake identities to gain trust in the crypto community before committing an exit scam. Scammers hire KYC actors who are individuals willing to put their name and face on fraudulent products to pass the KYC requirements and open bank or exchange accounts on behalf of the bad actors. The KYC actors are paid as low as $8 for simple gigs like passing the KYC requirements to open a bank or exchange account from a developing country, while more complex requirements or verification processes could fetch an even higher asking price. The scammers use fake identities to build trust in the community and then disappear with the investors' money in an exit scam. That is a KYC exit scam.
Well, that sounds too complicated. My version's a lot better than yours. My version is they tell you to go to a form and start providing your driver's license, your passport, your first name, your last name, your home address, your social security number if you have one, your GST number if you're in New Zealand. And then after you fill out that form, they tell you they don't believe you're really who you say you were. So we're not going to pay out the money until you verify who you really are. KYC.
Danny's answer is probably far more practical than mine.
It was a lot more fun to
came
deliver.
From perplexity.ai.
Yeah. I don't know how far you're down the track there, David, but you just said mind-blowing. If Danny de Hek and Rob Woolley is blowing your mind, we need to spend more time together on this live because...
Yeah, David, the non-existent smartphone is the least of your worries. I would spend your next $4,000 on counselling, whiskey and loose woman.
Yes, or you can buy us a coffee. That would be nice. Let's put the coffee thing up. Notice we like coffee. That'd be good. No, seriously, David, we're not laughing because if we took this seriously, we'd probably piss our pants. But what I want to say is I've actually literally done probably over 500 videos exposing Ponzi schemes and scams. And at the end of the day, people just don't believe me until they've lost their money, which is a very sad story. So I just want to share that experience with you. And we are here to help. We're here to help create awareness so people don't get scammed. And if you can help us become an Avenger, let's carry on with our thingy, eh?
Yeah.
Whereas Nell program, you had to buy another license. So this is set up for somebody who wants to park some money and let it grow if they want it, or they can just pull it out. There's a reason I'm explaining that.
Sure there is.
Take a real good look.
We can't see the look.
When you get to executive director, okay, must be qualified as a director in your first 90 days. Here's the good news, we're only half a month into it. You want to think, for those that want to build, I'm not talking about the people who just want to park some money, but for those that want to build, you want to get into this pool and qualify for it. You've got 90 days to get into this pool, or you miss out your chance to get into this pool. What's it worth to you? Well, divided quarterly in equal parts with all other executive directors, we're going to share 2.5% of global minting production.
I'm going to be a very wealthy man.
What's that?
Well, they can't have too many executive directors if they're going to give away 2.5%, unless there's some other.
Well, they can only
income.
have 50 of them, can't they? Or if you times it by 7, you can only have 350.
Well, a percentage means that you can only ever have 40 executive directors.
But not if
Can't
you...
get over
No, but they're going
production.
to 10x their money by 7. So that gives them 700. So now you divide the 2% by the 700, you get 350 erectors.
No. We're talking about production of a finite thing. So 2.5% of global production, like total production of this thing, there's only 40 times 2.5% and 100%. So there's only 40 people
Rob,
that
you're
could
boring
ever
me. You're
reach
boring the crap out of me.
executive director.
I've lost... It's too complicated.
It's deep, Danny.
Yeah, deep.
It's really.
Yeah, I believe
really
you, mate. It sounds great. Great, good. Yep, smile and
I want to
nod.
be an executive director. I
Yeah.
do.
I thought there was only one executive director in every company, but I've just learnt something today.
That should be the question you ask, right? What's that global minting production? And by the way, you're in it for 24 months, or as soon as you earn 20,000 euros, it's about 40, a little under 40,000 New Zealand. Well, what is this global minting production?
What?
See, in the past, in every other program to do with networking, every other program, everything's based on sales. You might get in a pool, the pool might be small if that month's sales was small.
They have opposition?
For those of us that have got teams, would it be fair to say that 90% of all your entire team members are what we call passive members?
Okay, so they've got people scattered throughout the audience. In a minute, you're going to hear a cheer.
And if you've been involved in other programs, would that be fair to say? Maybe 1 in 10 will, let's get out and get the network built. Would that be fair? Maybe 90%?
My recorder guy's looking around, looking at everyone and seeing if anyone's got their hand up. That's why he scuffled. He's like,
Yeah.
is everyone buying this? Am I the only one think this is stupid?
Listen carefully with this.
I must send him a link to our live show. He might watch it in real time.
90% of our members now, who are doing the 60-40 thing,
60-40 thing?
and the active members, make up that 2.5%. We're actually monetising our passive memberships as well. The large majority of all our members in our teams. And they're paying people who are building the teams. You've got to get to executive director to share in this. 60,000 in sales. In this business, with what we got, with this game changer, don't tell me you can't do it. You just won't do it if you don't. It's not that difficult. And I'll explain why. So somebody buys a cloud minter. So getting back to that, sorry. So when somebody buys a virtual minter and they add CLFI, and it mints tokens, that's what we're talking about, the value of those tokens that are minted every month, not just in New Zealand, globally. 2.5% of that gets shared to the executive directors. So you've earned 20,000 euros, 40,000
More than one
month.
executive director.
Not just your teams, Bob's team. Woo. All those Italians. Just lately, a whole bunch of Indians have got on, they're going nuts. They're ripping this up. We get a share of the global minting productions once you hit executive director. And you know what? It's not based on sales. Whether you put another person in or not, it's not based on activity like that. Not networking activity. Once you hit that, you're in that pool. Now you've got to maintain your qualifications for it. Little detail. Okay. So what happens when you go senior ambassador? This is the bit I really want to tell you about. Senior ambassador, 600,000 in volume. That's helping 10 people get to the 60,000, right? 10 people help them get to senior director, so they hit that other pool. Learn how to build this team, learn how to duplicate, jump into the support system,
Have you got
get them plugged in.
10
This
friends,
builds.
Rob?
When you get to senior ambassador pool, oh, I had to cap this one. 50,000 max every quarter. That's 50,000 euros every quarter. So what's that? Let's call it 100,000 every 3. It's about 30 grand a month. Passive income. I don't know what you'd do. What would you do with 30,000 a month?
I literally can't stand these scare tactics in getting financially rich. I've got a micro break for us, Rob. Now, before I started this live, I sent the link off to our live to my friend Carl Millar. And Carl Millar has taken the liberty to phone Vera and complain about what... this is what my customer, well, my Avenger has come back and said. Let's see if it plays. Oh, come on.
Comma truck driver Richard Rudecki exposed the We Are All Satoshi Ponzi scheme.
No. Wrong
Carl
one.
just called Vera, complaining about me and more importantly you. The rest is absolute gold. Vera played ignorant and let Carl loose. The outcome will amuse you. Enjoy.
Oh, brilliant. So what's happened is Carl has phoned Vera and they've recorded the conversation, which is unheard of. I mean, I'm tempted to have a wee listen.
And gave him all sorts of wrong information, and Danny's going all over the place, spouting all this incorrect information. So Danny de Hek is just shooting himself in the foot.
So just bear in mind, I've never listened to this recording in case it gets... But this is like, we don't just bust I don't just bust We Global, but Carl Millar is currently on the dole receiving money from the Australian taxpayer, and we got his payslip put up on the screen because we managed to hack into his control. And he's just a lady that he's advised who lost $90,000 to Ponzi schemes and scams. Have actually, we've helped her quite a lot. And they've helped me too. They bought me a cup of coffee. But anyway, so Carl Millar, I've been exposing him for the last 2 years, has just sent them a voice message. Do you want to have a listen to it, Rob, or do you want to wait till later?
No.
No what?
No.
It's brilliant.
No, you can listen
So
to
I
that
should
too.
really thank him for setting Danny up.
Who's
to be-
Danny?
Don't put it on.
Danny Hek.
It's going to be good. Well, we'll save that for another video. But this is gold. When
However, the only thing that I would say, which actually comes back to what I said before, is why aren't these people communicating direct to you?
they don't know my phone number, Rob.
Well, they can go on your website. They can find, like, I found you.
I'm hard to find,
But they
mate.
could go onto your website. They could comment on any of one of these videos and point out if you've made a mistake or if I've made a mistake as well. They could point out the error of your ways or the error of my ways.
I'm a lost sheep, mate. I'm a
would
lost child.
Like I would, if I feel that I've made a mistake and someone points it out, I would take it back. Yeah.
Hey, there's another comment.
Order for another video another day, but this one we're talking about We Global. But
Can you read it?
in the chat room?
Yeah.
David says, Danny, I have to correct you there. You said that people cannot access their money since We has been shut. So I've asked David whether withdrawals are still occurring. And Blessed Life FX said, you two are brilliant. Gosh.
Speak for
And
myself.
you're reporting on these scams, sincerely the best. Have followed you, Danny, since you were just getting out of nappies. Started reporting on hyper garbage. Thank you for what you do. Star. To which I replied, Danny's head is expanding.
It's nearly blown off his shoulder.
Yes, it has. How much longer have we got to go in this sales pitch recording?
I think what we need to do is play it for 10 minutes and then take notes and review it. Otherwise, we'll be here all night.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right.
Away you go.
So let's just go to 30 minutes, and then you can take notes, and we'll come back and say stuff. It's at 23. We've got 6 minutes. We'll play it for 6 minutes, and we'll see how we get on. Rob, can you come back? Okay, you ready? You've got your jammies on, haven't you?
No, I've got to put the charger on the phone.
All right, fair enough. If we do lose Rob, it's just his camera. My battery in my camera needs changing in about 20 minutes.
Run away to have a coffee.
All right, here we go.
30,000 a month once you hit this point. Now, some of you might be thinking, oh, this is mind blowing. I'll never make 30,000
Not
a
me.
month. I'm here to tell you, yes, you can. It comes down to attitude. That's why I said it board. I want to talk about that in a minute. Yes, you can. This ain't that difficult. Ambassador 6 in the old ranking system. I think it is. Yeah, or something like that. Maybe 7. But well, 600,000 in sales will get you into this pool. Depending how you're structured, that's why you need a coach. 30,000 a month. How would that change things for you, Greg? Change things for a lot of us, right? I know what Greg's told me what he wants, what he would like to achieve in terms of some of the goodies that might come, the toys.
I hate this sales
30 grand a month should pay for that, I think. Yeah. Right, but that's 1.5% of global minting, global, plus 0.5% of everything that's staked, the CLFI. And getting bigger. So that's the senior ambassador. I don't want to do this, okay. I meant to take this slide out. There's other pools, chief ambassador rank, 150,000 max, to get it to this pool, per quarter, 300,000, it's 100,000 a month, roughly, a little under New Zealand.
Show me the money.
Now I hope you're not sitting here thinking I'll never make that money. Because if you think that, you're probably not going to.
I will never make their money.
One of the things I learned early on that served me very well, and if it's the only lesson I can leave with my kids, is to think bigger, quicker. We govern our results in our life up here. Don't be impressed with that figure either, by the way. You know about this slide, right? You've seen this before. I call it the Boscovado bonus. Boscovado.
Remember, they've got a PowerPoint presentation, so they can see better than we can. So bear with us here, guys.
Guess who's coming here next month?
We'll give you our interpretation in a few minutes.
We're bringing Mark over. And he's one of the best in the business to teach people how to build all the basics.
Wow.
I don't think there's anybody better. And he's a great guy to boot. We're all different personalities. You know, Mark's very laid back. I seem to be very, sometimes, some people go, gee, Frank, you're a bit tough. We're all different, right? But I'd rather think that was different again, right? He's a bit tougher. Very direct. Try arguing with Daryl over a point. He's already thought it 10 ways from Sunday.
Oh, it's bloody hilarious.
Okay, here's what we've got to do.
Panic.
Now, I've spoken to the leaders. We're committed to making this happen. In fact, just those that were in the leadership, can you just stand up, please?
Oh, here we go.
I just want you to have a look around. Moira there, Gavin. Well, okay, we had this. There's only 8 of us.
Do you want to stand up, Rob?
Every one of us is in somebody's line. So identify who your leader is. Because you need to connect with them. If you want to do what I'm about to show you here, because they can help you with this. Thanks, guys. I'm going to tell you now the secrets to structuring of your profit to get to the executive level in this industry. First of all, make no mistake, that's why we make a big deal out of it. Go Club 5. First 30 days, you do not get a second chance to reignite. You don't start off Houston, we have ignition, we have launch, right? And you get halfway up the, I'll back off now. Doesn't work. First 30 days, and you do more than 5, you're not limited to 5. You want to get the business going, get committed. Anybody sell 5 packages or bring 5 others, find 5 others who want to make an income.
I don't have 5 friends.
Not bashing them about their head together. We don't want that. Other people have sometimes done that in the past. It doesn't work. Right? Don't do that. We're looking for people who are looking, and there's a lot. You just got to be able to relate it to them in a way that they relate to them. Sorry, buddy.
I just sent our live broadcast to Stephen
So we
Condos.
could have the last questions. Right? Club 5, first 30 days. And then a couple of them are going to want to do the same. You know, those new people getting in, do they know what to do? You're going to have to help them. That's why we teach, that's why we coach.
Carl's blocked me.
We know that that's a pyramid types. Look, it looks like a pyramid structure, right, as it builds out.
There's a reason for that.
It's not a pyramid. It's a pyramid structure, no different to anything, right? But we also know in this business that it tends to coffin in a little bit. There's reasons for that. Right?
Taking notes, Rob.
The person who knows what they're doing at the top ain't working down at the grassroots to help.
Stop it in
build
50
out.
seconds.
That we can do. Oh, how did you know? Thank you, Dana. Appreciate it. Thanks, Alan. Okay, this is really important, and you'll get this when you get into the leadership sessions.
I want to be a leader. Oh, he dropped his glass.
Most of us who have teams understand that probably 95% of your volume is in your first 4 levels of your trip, right? And in this business, level 1 is worth 15% to you.
All right, Rob, we're stopping at 30 minutes. We have 21 minutes to go in 27 seconds. You've been taking notes. I've been playing around on the internet and spamming people, telling them to look at our live broadcast. We now have 9 people in our room, and we've also got some notes in the chat room. Anything now? I can't say his name, but I should know his name. But this is Vera's husband or partner.
Who's this?
S.E.
Sadat Oza.
Yeah, so this is Vera's partner. So even though I played a little bit snippet of Carl's message. I haven't listened to it all, and I'm dying to, but Rob told me not to because it's another story another day.
No,
Brilliant.
no. He says, hey, Danny, Chavez is coming to Melbourne to what I'm assuming is the Binance Awards. Carl said, if you come to the awards night, Sam Lee will come to Melbourne also to confront you.
Whoa, we were going to arrested.
Excellent. Mate, I'll tell you what, if that was happening, I'd almost fly to Melbourne myself. Because Sam, I want to go out drinking with you, mate. I've seen you on the piss. You're an absolute crack up, mate. Like that would be worth the air flight. You could come over to Christchurch.
Yeah, come all the way, mate. We'll take you out for dinner as long as you buy the drinks.
I probably would, actually.
I wouldn't buy him
I
drinks.
think
I'd
that'd be
go
hilarious. Carl said he saved We Are All Satoshi single-handedly. Chavez was impressed and gave him a $5,000 miner. So that's quite interesting because I don't know if you were on the call that I was on where one lady was saying that she mistakenly ended up with a $5,000 miner stuck in her account. Didn't even know where it came from.
Why did she open her mouth?
So they must be just throwing it away, mate.
Yeah.
Throwing it away. All right, it's only 5K. That Chavez was impressed and gave him a $5,000 miner and possibly a job. And he said Sam did a 100-page complaint against Gareth and even had it translated in Arabic. I didn't know that Gareth was Arabic, but I'm just being cheeky there. That's obviously because it's in Dubai. And he said he's going to get Gareth arrested because he caused all of the issues of non-payment for VidiLook.
Sure he is.
And David, just make sure we missed one here. Where are you? You still there?
Yeah, I am. No, I haven't gone. Won't let me go.
And David, I'm going to try to say his last name, Veselinov.
Yep.
I hope that was close. Rob, Woolley, I haven't been able to withdraw a single cent yet, but they keep promising. They have too many platforms. I will list you their websites below. God, all right, don't do that for me, but I'm sure Danny would be interested. And after the gold rush, Rob, you are hilarious. Thank you. That's one person who thinks that. That's fantastic, but I'll take that.
How come he didn't say
that.
Rob and Danny? You're
Very much.
How come he said just Rob?
Well,
what's happening there, bro?
Could be a hint there, Danny. It could be a hint. The crypto, that's you. Good stuff, peoples. So this is the most comments we've ever had in the chat room.
Speak
we
for
must
yourself.
be getting better. Or there's heaps of people with no life and they're all at home listening to the internet on a Friday night, Danny. Which is probably why they got invested in Ponzi schemes in the first place.
Now, I just want to bring a highlight to this. I know this is not relevant to what we're doing, but this is Behind MLM. It's one of my favourite websites. And the guy that runs it, his name's Oz. And in here, it talks about what Rob did a video about. When did you do your video? Was it October the 11th or 10th?
Oh, 2 or 3 days ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. So Rob did a video basically showing something that had been published. I think it was actually back in September the 27th. So this
sounds about right.
So these serious accusations about We Are All Satoshi. So it's this video here. And Oz, I believe, my opinion, has actually picked up either I'll take the blame for it, but either my review on your video.
Rehash.
Yep, rehash of your video. And Rob read out the accusations and the cease and desist letter from the California who?
Oh, I honestly can't remember that off the top of my head, but it's something weird like the Californian Financial and Innovations.
Yeah, there it is.
Like it's not that, but
Business,
yeah.
Consumer Services and Housing.
Oh, there it
Agency.
is. Yeah. A Business, Consumer Services and Housing Agency, Department of Financial Protection and Innovation. I was semi-close.
So the real good thing about this, YouTube are based in California. And basically YouTube are providing We Are All Satoshi, our platform to run their videos. So this, we've complained to YouTube, well, both of us have, and so has numerous other people. But what happened was, which I'm really rapt about, is this article appeared on behindmlm.com, and this is the place where you should check out all the information about all the Ponzi schemes. Sam's been in here numerous times, but this is basically a reiteration of your video that you did, Rob. So congratulations. I reckon Oz grabbed your video and did his own research, of course, and basically published about We Are Satoshi. And here, the real cool thing is Chavez, who offered me $10,000, in here they actually publish what they believe is his real name. So
hold on, backtrack.
Beep, 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 beep.
$10,000.
Yeah, Chavez brought me into a room and he said if I could find his last name, he would pay me $10,000.
Oh, it was one. Right. So what? Anwar?
Yeah. Where did you read that? I'm trying to find it.
It's just, it's there. Anwar took control of what was left of We Are All Satoshi and announced his own reboot.
Yeah, so Chavez Anwar. And if you go up here, it's actually got his AKA. Here it is here. So that there. Yeah.
Wonder how he found that. He's better than you, Danny.
Well, no, he had Anwar about a month ago. And I sent him an email saying, here's some AKA Chavez. Was it Ahmed? Dyslexic doesn't help here. Started that one out for us.
Where are we looking at?
Hey, I've just got another message here. Great video, Rob. Oh, they must be talking about the video you did. Yeah, not this. This is my show. Rob's a guest.
I'll have a look at him. I'll take all praise.
Yeah.
We Are All Satoshi fell under Lee's stable Deo Ponzi umbrella. Lee ran the fraudulent investment schemes with Chavez Anwar, aka Chavez Ahmed Siddiqui. Both fled to Dubai as a result of previous Ponzi schemes collapsing circa 22. Oh, that's interesting. Hold on. This is what it says. This is not what I'm saying. But it says both, i.e., I'm assuming that means Sam Lee and Chavez Anwar, both fled to Dubai as a result of previous Ponzi schemes collapsing circa 2021. In Dubai, Lee and Anwar are sheltered from law enforcement by Dubai's authorities. How the hell would he know all this? The August collapse saw Lee and Anwar split. Lee announced his own stable Deo reboot in early September, but there has been no further updates. I wonder how I know,
he's pretty resourceful, though. I provided him what I thought was heartbreaking information once, and he came back and said, you haven't told me anything new. And I went, oh, okay then, I'll keep trying. So, no, I really like this content that this guy chucks out. Yeah. So if you want that link, I could probably figure out a way of getting that into the chat room, but I'll figure that out in a minute. But that video you did there, Rob, honestly, that was just cool bananas.
That was actually very hard to find that information, and even when you Google that, I just was quite lucky to stumble upon it.
Yeah. Have you got that link handy? Because I think I've got it and I can paste it in the chat. Hey, we'll go back.
The link for what, Danny?
The link to I think I've put it somewhere anyway. I think I put it in the community area of my YouTube channel. Hey, what I'll do is I'll keep pressing play, and while I share a few links, we'll keep listening.
Oh, hold on. After the gold rush said, and Danny.
Oh, really? Thank God he said that.
Oh, and then they said, and Danny.
Oh.
Follow up. Great video, Rob. Oh,
yeah.
Keep it coming. I'm feeling the love.
It's too late. The damage has already been done. I don't want to play this video because it will make us a bit slow on the internet, but I am trying to use the chat window and post that link. Oh, there it is. So if I do that real quick.
Doing?
That one there.
What are you doing?
I'm pasting the link to the article, so that should be up there now. And now I'm going to pause me so it doesn't use up all my bandwidth. And then the other one that you had was in your chat, which we have had today. How did you send me the link to the article? The PDF.
Are we talking about the Californian article?
Did you send it to me on the phone?
I'll find it for you.
Join the chat. We are Satoshi. Was it? I think you must have sent it to me on Messenger. Whoops, I just brought up all the messengers there. We'll get that over there. Ooh.
I've just found it.
Oh, can you paste on your stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, well, if you do that and put it in the chat room. And we'll carry on listening, eh?
Done.
All right. Next, we'll try to go for 10 minutes straight.
So let's say you introduce somebody, they put in 10 grand, you've just made 1,500 euros.
Oh my God, that's a lot
That's
of
3
money.
grand, just under, maybe 2.6, 2.7, New Zealand. First level. Second level in the uni level here is 5%. So let's say they bring in somebody with 10 grand, well, your friend just made 1,500, you just made another, what it is, 500. Third. We've got 15 levels all the way down. What we're going to do is we're going to teach how to, and the importance of building depth. Now you only get paid up to 15 levels deep, provided you're 15 levels wide.
What happened to the
Go
phone?
as far as in the uni level, depending how wide you are. So if you only put 2 people in, there's nothing wrong with that. They're just going to push you. You need to understand the site. You only get paid 2 levels down. And they're instant payments too, by the way. Darryl talked about it like a taxi meter. Right? When you got 15 wide, you pay down on all the depth. It's got a compression thing in it, so if somebody's not active somewhere in one of those lines, they just get compressed out. You might end up earning income on somebody who's 20 deep from you. So to get, this is our target executive director, is 60,000 in sales. So in the uni level, if we just took an average, and 6% is conservative, by the way, but let's just say 6%, you can work out what 6% of 60 is. I had to take the figures off this. I wasn't sure if there was going to be people in here.
86.
Very good, Rob. Very good.
Because it can always be misconstrued.
Don't want to be misconstrued.
6%, you know what 6% of 60 is. You can work that out.
No friggin' idea, but Rob will tell me.
In the infinity, there'll be a
3.6.
6% margin. Again, this depends on how wide you're structured. So your coach can take you through this. You can work that out. I had the figures in here. And we've got a rank advancement bonus. So as you go through the ranks, they give you one-off bonuses.
Oh, it's just
I'll
beautiful.
tell you now, it's worth 1,200 euros.
I want
Just
to get.
to executive director.
I want to sign
You can
up.
add them up, right?
Show me the money.
And so what if it takes you 3 months to do it? And that's euros too, by the way.
Why are we doing it in
Multiply that by
euros?
2 again, just take a little bit out. You'll get some idea what that's worth to you.
Can't we do it in crypto?
And you can do that in the next 60 days. Woo-hoo. Some will do it in 30. Whatever it is that motivates you, your dream. It may not be a $2.5 million property in Dubai. It may not be. But you've got one. If you want it, you can sell it.
Got to change battery and camera, so you're in charge, Rob.
The pool is the big thing. And then the pool beyond that is the big thing. So let's talk about Dubai.
Dubai.
Because I can promise you, when you've gone over to Dubai and seen the company, meet the
Scam
CEO,
capital of the world.
meet the leaders, listen and go and see for yourself and hear for yourself what they're doing, you'll come across a little differently when you get back and you start talking to people about this business. Because you're going to learn a few things. And we have something coming up in Dubai in the first quarter, first couple of months of next year. I want to tell you about this because any one of us can go there. It was going to be November, they've had to reschedule it early 2024, which is great for some people because it means you can get in and get involved and get this thing sorted out. Go and qualify to go. So here's the promotion. And I'm looking to take a plane load with me out of New Zealand. I know you're well. There's a lot of people in this room that can come. Visitors pass. Okay, so what do you get? You get access to the 2 days event, launch and they can't spell launch, these Italians or whoever wrote this. That's how they say it, I think. They can't spell coffee right either. But you can go. Now for TBE members, it won't cost you $5,000, but it's the value of it.
It's all about money, isn't it?
Anyway.
I thought this was all about cell phones.
Good excuse to get to Dubai, right?
All about percentages of big figures.
What's this? I can go, I get access to the 2 days event, I get the coffee and the lunch, 3 nights hotel accommodation.
Oh my God.
What do you got to achieve?
Show me the hotel.
They throw on the accommodation. Okay, you're still buying your airfares. What is that? Senior director, 10,000 in sales. What have you done? They pick up your accommodation, you fly yourself over there. For those of us, they go for the executive director level.
This sounds like one of those things when you go over to the Gold Coast and you get picked up in the morning for a free breakfast, and then you get sold an opportunity to buy a whole building that has an apartment in it. That you know, same sort of deal,
Like
isn't it?
timeshare.
Yeah, timeshare, that's right. And yet it's split with 40,000 other people, and you can buy your share of paradise.
Right? Newly qualified TV executive director, 60,000 sales. They throw in 1,500 US towards your airfare.
1,500.
So basically for free. Certainly, if you decide you want to go business class, whatever, just 1,500 US to go towards it. Any one of us can do this.
I only fly business class.
And of course, then circle past 300,000 in sales.
Means you wouldn't
You
fly.
get to have dinner with the
I'm going to take the rowboat.
executives and a few other bits and pieces. They look after you over there. How do we do this? Maura covered this afternoon. Our focus is on Club 5. We've been teaching this by
Hey, we've got people in the chat room having a conversation together instead of listening to us.
Very clever.
Oh, that's great. Good stuff, guys.
the way.
As long as you don't sign up for or switch platforms, they might switch platforms, because one was in one was in VideoLook 2, VAV, and then the other one was obviously in We Global. So they might switch platforms. Could be an opportunity of a lifetime.
For the last 12 months. And guess who took it and put it into their compensation plan? So, front line, minimum purchase 110 euros, you've done Club 5. Club 15 is where you've got a group within the 5, 15 in total in your group. You do one of these, and you're at executive director level based on the average license purchases. We know this.
Sorry, guys. Just fixing up some stuff here.
It just requires a bit of focus and a bit of training, and we'll help you.
We'll help
Work
you.
with anybody who wants to do this. And I've got leaders trained to work with people who want to do this. You get 15% as soon as you do that 5. You do that in your first 30 days. From that point, anybody that you introduce, whatever they come in, whatever license value is, it's worth 15% to you.
15%.
Don't just take the 10%. You have 30 days to put 5 in. Doesn't matter if they all come in with 110. 5. And now you're picking up 15% on all frontline purchases. And of course the uni levels, magic. So what is this new system we're talking about?
Washing machine?
Yes, we still do the initial introductions. For those of us that are experienced networkers, we do that because there's a number of reasons for that. In those initial introductions, I remember a lot of times, can you come and have a chat for this guy actually? And he thinks he's going to hear a pitch from some expert that his mate's just bought it. It's the last thing he gets.
He's going to hear a bitch from what
Anybody else
expert?
knows what they're doing.
Pitch.
Oh, sorry. Silly
Main
me.
pitch, just having a chat. What do you do? How many kids? What is it we're looking to help you with? What is it you want? I'm actually qualifying that person.
Oh, it's come back again.
Some people I wouldn't want in the business, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, that'd be me. They
I
won't
wouldn't
want me
want to be
there.
working with. That's thinking attitudes. That's just some people, right?
Yeah,
That's
the
why they
negative
break,
people.
a lot of them. And I really want to finish up with this. This is important. So you do your initial introduction. If you're not a networker, let me show you.
Uh-oh.
Organic networking, the way networking was meant to be. One person's going, X, that's a good deal. Cheers.
Are you an organic networker, Rob?
Oh, I've got 5 friends that are doing that. Just once
Organic
a quarter, you
anything.
follow up.
You've got to have
Just
friends to
don't
be a
do
networker.
So they have some idea what they do.
Struggle with that.
Then you get into one of these events. Now, before we had the Macarena thing, That wasn't meant to be something that was forced on you.
Did he say
There are some of
Macarena?
us, 1 in 4, that like doing that sort of stuff. If I was sitting down there and it was me, my resistance levels is probably the polite term, would have been right up there.
Everyone's giggling. Must be having a good time.
No,
in
you
the
weren't meant
audience.
to be forced to do that. It was a little bit of fun. The idea was to have a break in the program. If you needed to go out, go on the toilet, come back 4 minutes. Right? If you didn't want it, doesn't matter. If you did, great. Doesn't matter. We're all a bit different. We're trying to cater for everybody in this program. So we get into one of these events. And hopefully the afternoon is what we're on about, teaching, understanding the scope of what we got our hands on. The evening's very different. There's no teaching. You can leave your notebooks behind.
Wow.
We're telling stories tonight, life stories. So you get them in, and then they can attend one of the Zooms, and then they're likely to say, how do I get into this thing? If they have a reason, okay? Now, I've got another 10 minutes, Paul. All right, we'll do this in a second. Yeah. We've got a market here.
So we'll stop it there, Rob. We'll carry on, but what did you get from that, mate? Anything interesting?
Well, like it is quite repetitive. All I'm getting from it is something that I get from a lot of these crypto projects, that they don't have anything simple or linear or anything like that. When you're talking about like 2.5% of global minting and 1.5% of global minting and 60,000 sales, and when you reach this, it changes from this to like the next thing and stuff. It's like it. My impression is it's made to sound impressive and well thought out and stuff, but the fact remains is that, has anybody seen these returns? It looks like this guy has walked into this room, and his job, I'm not saying this is right, but this is what it comes down to me. The guy's job is walk into a room and recruit amazing salespeople who are going to go out there and create a network. And I just did some maths here before, that if you actually if you recruited 4 people, who each recruited 4 people, that you would actually meet your 50 or 60,000 sales in the manner of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 generations or 8 layers, because 4 people would get 16, who would get 64, approximately 250, then 1,000, then 4,000, 16,000, 64,000. When you do it like that, it looks really, really doable, because it's not like one person has to go out there and get 60,000 sales. Although maybe, actually now that I'm talking about this, maybe I have got it wrong, because maybe it's not that your team becomes 60,000 so that you've generated 60,000 complete sales. Maybe you do have to sell 60,000 things. But either way, the person who's doing all the work is going to get this reward that he points out. But actually, this guy in the room is probably going to make more money than anybody else. And the only thing that he has to do seems to be that he has to sell it to one person to go and do the work.
The reason why I get my nose stuck out of joint with this stuff is the people that have been working all their life and they've saved up their superannuation, whatever it's called, they're the ones that chuck a lot of money into this because they have that feel-good factor. And I just see, like with We Are All Satoshi, the average investment seems to be $200 per person. I've had phone calls from a guy whose father, who's heavily involved in this, has taken out his super and chucked it all into We Are All Satoshi. Now, that guy's worked his whole life, and these guys, they go to the meetings, they sit there and they feel like they're part of a community. Everyone's singing Kumbaya and holding hands together, and they just dump these guys must just about fall over Because I just got a message today, somebody dumped $50,000 into Hyperfund it was, and it finished up. I actually knew the people that I used to run a business networking company, and one of the cafes was one of the guys that invested all the money, and I know him, and he's pissed off about these, and he's lost his money, and he's a very private guy, and he's going to keep his mouth shut. But his friend was telling me his story, and it's just guttering. That these guys,
so this is the whole
people.
thing, that I don't usually get pissed off, so I'll put that in there, right? Because I'm on the outside of this. But if that was me or one of my friends who actually went in and lost the money, and they said, "Well, I'm just going to keep quiet about it," you're basically setting up the next mug to go in and do the same thing as you, because for evil to perpetrate, good people do nothing. And why would you want to keep quiet?
Say that again.
For evil to perpetrate, good people do nothing.
I like that.
Well, it wasn't me, but
that's right.
But like that is the thing, who gains when you invest, you lose money, and you keep your mouth shut?
No one. Yeah.
It's like if you were the runner of a Ponzi scheme, like if you organised a Ponzi scheme, and all the people that you roped in lost their money, and they all thought like that, how would you feel as a person who'd got away with all the money? You'd be laughing all the way to the bank, because not only have you got all the money, but all the people that you got the money from are kind of almost blaming themselves, and they're all going to keep quiet, right? So you can just go out and create a new name business and start all over again. And everybody thinks, scamming and Ponzi schemes can't be that big, otherwise I would have heard about them. Well, you haven't heard about them because the people who got sucked into them and lost money keep their mouth shut because they're too humiliated and embarrassed to say anything about it. And that's the problem.
Because some of the people that I know have actually literally come up with what they say they're going to go after and get justice. Because they were in the same boat as you, Rob, but I invested 10 times more than you because I was up, I was up at the top of it. But they failed to mention about all the commission money they got along the way. And,
if anybody had, because there's no outside money coming into these schemes, whatever the scheme might be, if somebody in the scheme has made money, then somebody else in the scheme has lost money. It's a zero-sum thing. It's not like, like you invest in a company, the company sells a product or a service, and all this outside money comes in and gets distributed in the form of dividends to the owners.
Yep.
You're not an owner. You're like a subscriber. And if you took heaps of money out, then some poor mug lost it.
Yeah. Before we play the last 10 minutes, can you read some of the chat comments which are relevant?
If we go into the chat, ladies and gentlemen, people can type really fast, can't they?
I finally found
So what are we up
Rob.
to? Great videos. Danny and Rob, she put you first. She? He? I don't know.
He's already said that you were better than me.
That is Blessed Life FX. David Veselinov. Siddharth Oza, are you still here? Siddharth is here. Blessed Life said, listen to these two and run from the scam ASAP. Siddharth Oza said, which Ponzi are you involved in, David? And David said, We We and TBE. I don't know what TBE is.
I think that's a new one. The blockchain era. Is it E? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I took ages to figure that out, but I had 10 minutes on you. I was sitting there thinking, it was a new Ponzi scheme.
We rebranded and became TBE. Sorry, David. Yeah. All right, that was a novice mistake by moi. So David said, Siddharth, can you help me with LFI and cloud minting? If yes, I will leave my email address. You're a bugger for punishment, aren't you, David? But maybe you're a true believer, maybe you're smarter than us. I don't know. Blessed said, your odds are better playing a lottery than flushing your dollars in one of these scams.
Boom.
I haven't done very well at lotteries, so maybe I should get into a scam.
Yeah, we're going to start one of our own. I don't know what we're going to call it.
I think we'd be brilliant. Like we've listened to so many. We should know how to do this by now.
We'll call it the Avenger.
It's a scam, David. No one can help you. No one can help you, David.
Let me do your leader.
Yes, right. So we're all up to date. Yeah,
right.
It must be fascinating if you're in the audience in one of these presentations like we're listening to, about what you feel, like, have you got kind of burnt out with the numbers, because just listening to this is pretty hardcore tiresome. And it is, as you allude to, Danny, it is all about the money. That's what I'm feeling.
Show me the money.
The things about the phone are off to one side, but it's all about the money. I want money.
Well, bear in mind I want money. Bear in mind the guy that recorded this was vomiting it in the bucket in the audience while he was listening to it. So much the fact that when they went out for a cup of tea, he had to come up with some lame excuse to run away from his friend that was trying to drag him into the opportunity, and he left. He said he was angry. He said he was fuming because some people see this like night and day, and that's real big to think about that. Some people believe it. Some people hate it. I sit there I'm not a skeptic. I sit there and I want proof. I believe there was a God. Well, there could be a God, but I believe in the Bible when I was brought up in my religious cult because I didn't know any better.
Yeah, and like the fact that someone comes up with these and the fact that people have lost money historically in Ponzi schemes and stuff like that means that people are susceptible to this. And some of these presenters are very persuasive. I'm not too sure that this guy is really persuasive. I quite liked his style at the start, but he had started to wear a bit thin on me. But, there were, like, as I said to you, Keith Williams and Kalpesh Patel, when they were going at it on Hyperverse, you could just see how that must have been quite entertaining, right? To kind of, like arrive along each Saturday, I think it was, and to get your weekly injection of rah, 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 and feel really good for the next week.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people actually got out of being involved with Hyperverse was being part of a community, a sense of belonging. But as soon as they started questioning those communities, they got kicked out and thrown out on the street. And I'm not going about me, but that's exactly what happened when I was kicked out of the religious cult I was in at the age of 23. Game over, kicked out, no friends, no job, no place to live, and had to start over at the age of 23. And all of a sudden you're thinking, what happened to the brotherly love? And I had to make new friends. You're my friend, eh, Rob?
Well, I got into that same situation without even being in a cult, Danny.
Oh,
unbelievable!
Did you? I'm just looking for a video. I can't find it on the other screen, but there's a really good video of this famous comedian, and it is actually, if you search for it, religion is the biggest scam in the world. Like, I can't find it by searching for that.
Is that George Carlin?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's brilliant. And he said, "There's an invisible guy in the sky, and he loves you." He talks like that. Yeah, it's so brilliant. All right, let's carry on. We'll get into this. Friggin' hilarious. I'll stop that soon.
Now, I'm going to just fast here. I want you to think about some of the more successful people you know. And it doesn't necessarily have to be financially successful people, financially successful business people. I'm looking for characteristics and attributes of successful people.
I got to stop it, Rob. You just went to Tony Robbins in Australia for 4 days, right? And they had music. They had everything you could think of. You showed me videos. You even did a video about it. How is this guy doing in comparison?
Sorry, yeah.
Where's the hot corals?
Yeah,
what did you walk across? You walked across fire, didn't you?
I walked across burning coals at the end of the first night, 1400 degrees, got the blisters prove it. Apparently, if I was in state, I wouldn't have got the blisters, but I don't know about that. But no, Tony Robbins, next level.
Yeah.
Next level. And he used to, I won't say what he used to, but back in, I think it was the 90s, he used to do all of the infomercials over here. So if you turned on the TV in the morning, there was a whole lot of infomercials used to run for hours, and Tony Robbins was on there, really annoying American accent, rah, 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 you know.
Yeah.
And then I ended up with some Tony Robbins CDs by accident, almost listened to them, and a whole lot of really good things happened. My mindset changed. Then I forgot about it, but I ended up through kind of accident in a way going to a Tony Robbins course a month ago, and it was absolutely sublime. Heaps of music, heaps of energy, but yeah, the way that he can hold an audience is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And it's all storytelling. And the interesting thing with this presentation is that he has told a few stories, but then he's gone into numbers and percentages and stuff like that and talking about the money. If you can keep the story going and people can actually imagine themselves moving from where they are to where they want to go, and maybe having this as the vehicle, whatever opportunity it is as the vehicle. But the stories are very compelling for persuading people to action.
Yeah.
There you go. Rant over.
No, that's good. It is really good. I just think I just look at this as, I don't know, because I was brought up and I used to go to 5 meetings a week. And I used to try to I used to always listen to every speaker, trying to go away with one key point that I would come home with. And, this guy here, I just hear greedy people a lot of the time. And I used to always think when I first started busting these Ponzi schemes that people that got involved in them were just greedy. And then I met this guy called Mike Lucas. And Mike Lucas took out his whole life savings and put it into Hyperverse and lost a lot. And I believe he did that. It was only $25,000 US. That was his whole life saving. He was on the sickness benefit. He was actually only 58 years of age, I think, at the time, maybe 59 now, and he's laying in bed. He does work 1 or 2 days a week. And I'm thinking, this guy didn't put it in out of greed. He put it in out of desperation. He's probably at at that point in his life where he thinks, look, I've got to have an opportunity. I've got to have some luck. And he's put his money in. Imagine how that guy, and he messages me just about every week. And he goes, he loves what I'm doing, which is really nice. And I'm always saying, I wish there was a philanthropist out there. See how I said that word? Out there who would give him 25 grand and make his life whole again, because that was his life savings. But people like and his downline was Keith Williams. Now, Keith Williams is currently living in a £3 million mansion in the UK, got a couple of mil in the bank, got investments, but he's got stage 4 cancer, and he's now on the fight of his life. And, so karma does catch up with these people, but there's good people who didn't do bad things, who have got bad results from, and it goes on, really. Just my rant.
Yep, the Ponzi schemes get everybody eventually.
And everyone, intelligent, unintelligent, rich and poor people, all get done. And they go to these third world countries.
There's a lot of intelligent people. Like when you sit through some of these YouTube and Zoom meetings, these aren't idiots.
What about the guy that had the shower?
There are a few people on there who probably are a little bit blunter than others. But, there's a few sharp tools out there as well. And, they seem to have an amazing ability to suspend judgment forever.
There's another comment that just popped up from David. Have we got that one? I think we've got M. Carr. She's promised what I got, BC. I can't.
In your last joint video, Mario asked that you guys explain tokenomics from a blockchain specialist.
Jesus.
I'll leave that one to you, Danny.
Yeah, it's on the interweb. Is crypto on the internet now?
Yeah, I think just because Chavez has been talking about tokenomics a lot, I think that tokenomics is basically that if you create a crypto coin and you mine it and you set up a structure, that there's a certain trajectory it will follow, or at least Chavez would like you to believe that there is one. I don't actually believe any of that, because you've got the laws of economics, I think, outweigh any theory of tokenomics.
I've got a theory on it.
Tokenomics sounds like economics, and economics is actually less the study of money and more the study of what decisions people make. So in We Are All Satoshi, there's a big thing that this coin will live or die depending on the sentiment of the community, which basically means that if you believe this thing's going to take off, then you'll stay in here forever, and that actually may do it for you. But the problem is that there basically can only be one, from my naive point of view, there can only be one cryptocurrency. And if there is one cryptocurrency, then Bitcoin has got a massive head start over everything else.
It's going to be worth $100,000 in the next 370 days.
So they tell me.
Another point of view there, Rob, while I'm on my high horse. Imagine that I'm telling you that Dubai is a beautiful place to go and visit. You can go there and live for $10 a week in a 5-star resort. The weather is beautiful. The climate is amazing. The people are friendly. And when you get there, you will think this is the best thing, the best thing that's ever happened in your life. However, to get there, I want you to purchase some air tickets. Now, I want you to purchase the front seat, the left seat, and the right seat before you get on the plane. And then when you get on the plane, kumbaya, mother, whoops, and this is exactly what they're doing. I don't care about the tokenomics, because this is not, their tokenomics isn't even plugged into the Air Force. They're not even a proper airline. They're not.
Okay.
They're not allowed to fly people around.
I will tell you, I have been to Dubai. It was a long time ago.
It is nice.
There were a lot of empty spaces in Dubai back then. The petrol was really cheap. The cars are really big. There is definitely not $10 a night hotels.
Oh, damn.
There's like $4,000 a night rooms.
Wow.
I stayed in an apartment in Sharjah, free, so that was okay. But yeah, like Dubai isn't even a place that I probably would go back again, but I didn't think it was that flash. MCAR has asked this one question that I can actually answer.
Yep.
Mario, I'm assuming that's Mario, the hyperdriver.
Yep.
Also said there's a difference between BTC and BTCC. See Mario's comments. I'm curious. BTC is Bitcoin, and
Right.
BTCC is Bitcoin code.
Oh,
So
it's close.
BTC is, so BTC is the original Bitcoin that's going for something like 25 to 30,000 a coin.
Yep.
BTCC is the one that artificially seems to be going for about $25 to $27 at the moment on We Are All Satoshi.
Is that the one that Chavez will buy everyone's BCT?
Chavez will buy, which allows you to have an extra exit strategy if you want to get out. Although, if you've harvested your coin, which you'd have to do in order to sell it to Chavez, you probably paid more on the B fuel harvesting than Chavez is going to pay you on the exchange, on the insider market rate that it's showing. But that market rate can't be real for BTCC because it hasn't started proper trading. So somehow it's linked to B fuel, which seems to be that it's been set by Chavez. So it's not even a real level. It's bizarre. But just one last point on that is that when Sam Lee was talking about the new Bitcoin, he was calling it Bitcoin 2. And this is where it got really confusing. And I saw today that someone is still confused between Bitcoin 2, calling it interchangeably the same as BTCC. Well, BTCC is not Bitcoin 2. It is like the original Bitcoin, in the way that they're releasing it. But apart from that, it's got no similarities to Bitcoin at all. But Bitcoin 2 does exist. It's its own coin. And that got floated about July this year. And I think it got released at 36 cents a share. And the last time I looked, which was a few days ago, it had dropped to 4.3 cents US a share.
Is that good?
And that's, well, if you think it's got a future, it's fantastic, because you can buy it really cheap right now and write it up.
Oh, really?
But the whole thing is, if you have a look at my video, a little plug for my video today, you'll see the Grace on the videos talking about utility, and Chavez in the past has talked about utility. And basically what that means is can it be used to buy anything? And outside of We Are All Satoshi, no one's heard of BTCC, so no one's going to accept it as payment. Therefore, it has zero utility. If you could go into a Ford dealership and buy a new Ford Falcon or whatever they're called overseas with BTCC, then it would have utility. If you walked in, no one would know what the hell you're talking about, and they'd want money, like real fiat currency.
Well done, Rob. That's really cool. I kind of enjoyed that.
Well, it's about the only thing I do know. David Veselinov, my apologies for not flowing that out. Blissful Life FX, but there are real deals. I invested with a company and I am getting a 2% return a month since 3 months. Now, David, listen up here. Okay.
Oh, my God. Did somebody try
listen up. When you subscribe into one of these, unless this has actually got a product or a service that it's getting revenue or income from outside, all of you people have put your money in a jar, all right? And the only people that have put money in that jar, all of the money inside that jar has come from people who are in the scheme, in the project.
In the jar.
And if you're getting 2% per, what is it? Return a month. Good grief. Okay. So if you're getting 2% return a month, which is what, 24% per annum, you're taking it out of the jar. Now, look, that even could be legitimate, because a hedge fund can get 18 to 20% on average. You could even be in a legitimate company. But the fact of the matter is, how many months do you have to keep on taking your 2% return to get your initial investment back? Because that's the crucial question. That will take 4 years at that rate, and most of these things fall over inside the first 12 months. If that happened to you, you would be losing 3/4 of your money. Saying that.
But these opportunities, people say to me that it's the banks give you no interest, and like Vera, which is maybe listening to us right now, she lost $90,000 to crypto investments, and somebody said, "Oh, but she put that $90,000 in the bank. The banks won't give her any interest." And I go, "But when crypto died, she went back to the bank, and she still had $90,000 in the bank. Who cares if the bank didn't give her any interest?"
Yeah. I am not an expert on crypto, as you know, Danny, all right? But I do have a degree in business. So let me tell you one thing, all right? If you are not getting a return because you put your money in the bank, it's because it is risky out there, and that the banks are playing a very low risk game, right? Even almost zero risk game. And because they can't risk anything and the economy is how it is, you may get a really low return, probably somewhere around 3 to 5%. You wouldn't get zero if you were in a savings or fixed term investment. You'd get about 3 to 5% roughly. But if you're going to go in a hedge fund, you could get like 15%, probably 10 to 15%, but that's slightly higher risk, so you could lose it. And if you're getting up near 20%, that's a lot higher risk. So when you go into one of these schemes and they say, we're going to pay you 1% a day, that's 365% interest per annum. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, that is total, let's put your money on
but my
roulette
mate got his
and
money
let's
out,
spin it.
Rob. This is what people say. My mate got the money out, so he knows what he's talking about. And I've seen him get them, and you'll go, was he one of the originals, or was he one of the ones that received a commission from introducing you into it?
Yeah, they were getting referrals, all right, and when all the people that they brought along were putting their money into the jar, those people at the top were reaching in and pulling the money out.
Yeah.
So, there's no extra money coming in. There's nothing that they're doing with that money to generate returns of 300%. There's actually nothing that they're doing with that money, full stop. So think about this. Where are they investing that money to generate a return?
Yep.
Where are they investing the money to generate a return?
Well, when Hyperverse fell over, Kalpesh Patel was told by Sam Lee that they were transferring the money out of Hyperverse into Bitcoin, and he said that they weren't doing the whale trading that they were telling the nodes they were doing, and they weren't investing in startups, which they told the nodes they were doing. And then they also offered Kalpesh Patel a ridiculous sum of money to do a slow exit strategy. Now, that does not sound like a legitimate company, Yeah,
if you ever look at what Sam Lee did with We Are All Satoshi and saying, well, you can stick this into We Are All Satoshi and basically we're going to ride Bitcoin up to 100,000. That is actually, if you want to think about it, a legitimate scheme. But because if 100% of that money was going into Bitcoin, but it wasn't. But if 100% of that money was going into Bitcoin, you are legitimately investing in Bitcoin. But of course, if you wanted to do that, you could actually do that on your own without the risk of having to go through any scheme. But they were buying Bitcoin. But as it is, we don't actually know that they're buying Bitcoin because there's only 4.2 million in the proof reserve, and it's not 100% of the funds. It's only 30% of the funds, and there's no transparency, so you don't even know that it's 30% of the funds because you have no idea of how much money came in.
There is transparency because you don't see Chavez's last name.
Anwar.
So he owes me $10,000. I will do the last. Yeah, we'll do the last 10 minutes.
He's going to pay you in BTCC.
Oh my God, I'm saved. The other thing I would say while I'm on the rant there, you're on the rant, you got a bit hysterical there for a while, is I sold probably about $1,200 or $1,300 worth of products this week, and I processed all the orders and I paid for the products, and then my system shipped the products to my clients. I got about $800 out of it, or maybe 600, and then I went and put the money in the bank. So you could say by doing hard work and having a product or a service, you make profit, and then you put that profit in the bank, and it's secured in the bank as good as you can do these days. Of course, you could argue the bank's full over, but you could also put the money in your back pocket if you wanted to. But if you put the money in a big bank that's got a good representation, government backed, that has to apply by all the laws and the regulations, the chances of your money staying stable is a lot higher than transferring all your life savings into a crypto platform like FTX, for example, or Sam Lee's Blockchain Global.
One really good question for anybody who ever watches this, or you can tell your friends or whatever. Most of the people that are investing are working, and they need to ask themselves, the next time that they turn up at work, ask themselves, where are the people that they work for getting the money to pay their wages from? Because I bet you that if their workplace stopped having outside income, outside revenue come in from selling or providing a product or service, their wages would eventually stop.
Yeah.
So all of these schemes are not bringing in anything. They have no customers outside. So
yeah, Chavez actually said once, I know this is about We Global, guys, and we should stay on, we've got off traffic a wee bit, but Chavez actually said that he likened We Are All Satoshi to Apple. And he said if Apple didn't sell cell phones, they wouldn't be in business. If we don't sell memberships, we won't be in business. And he uses that as a parallel. But I can tell you now, this $2,150 cell phone in my hand is something I can hold in my hand. And if I have it for a year, I can sell this tangible product for probably $900 or $1,000 to somebody else. And then I go and upgrade to the latest version of it. That is a tangible product.
And that's a great point, because I do remember Xavier saying that. And if this hand was Apple, right, then when We Are All Satoshi or whoever sells subscriptions or memberships, that is the same money coming in like people who buy shares. Okay?
Yeah.
But that money comes in, gets used in the business here, and produces a product or service that goes out to the customer, and then the customer pulls money back into the business, which they then send back to the shareholders. So in all of these schemes, from what I've seen, you're getting money coming in like shareholders in the form of subscriptions or memberships, but there's nothing going out the other side like a product or a service. There's nothing coming in from customers, which means that there's no money in here coming in to pay out anybody legitimately. Back to the chat thing, where David said, Siddharth, fair enough. My friend was earning from We We since 1.5 years, and I was convinced to invest, but I'm looking to get my money back now. Thought you can help, as you seemed knowing a fair bit. Hey, and I don't know enough about We We to say whether it's legit or not, but
it's not
won't
legit.
be getting my money. But one of those things is, if someone's getting a return for 1.5 years, because obviously We We has been going for a while,
they've rebranded
have they
4
got
times.
their initial investment back?
Have
they got rewards for bringing people in? You know, like, what is it?
It's the 4th time.
See Mario's comments at Serious Alligator. I haven't even seen that. Or maybe it's on the one that Danny and I did 14 hours ago. Great response. Folks, in those Zoom rooms, ask questions and research. Quit throwing away your money. Yeah, absolutely. Go ask the questions. Listen to Danny's videos, listen to mine. Find the questions or the big holes that we expose, which could have legitimate answers. We just don't think they have. But go and ask the questions and bring those answers right back. There's a little stutter there. Naughty.
You're a professional
If
stutterer.
Mark, message retracted. I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah.
Please, Danny, you make criminal Sam, scam, Lee, silence good to have you.
Brilliant. Love it.
I think he's, God, that's
I've
a tongue
silenced
twist,
him.
especially for me. Thank you, Effa. Brilliant.
No, well done, Rob. All right, let's do the last 10 minutes of this. We'll play it straight and we'll talk over it if we have to. But I think we get the idea that this is Frank from Rangiora, all the way from New Zealand, and he's telling everyone that this is just the best thing since sliced bread.
I want to write them up, I've got a point to make. So let me have them one at a time and I'll draw them up. Think about successful people. What makes them successful?
Richard Brett.
Money.
Sorry?
Richard Brett.
Yeah, I want to put a name. Characteristics.
Focus.
Sorry, focus. Thank you.
Goal
I want to put about 20 up.
Integrity.
Thank you. Integrity.
Drive.
Commitment.
Commitment.
Come on, Rob, pick one. What makes successful people?
Discipline.
I'll use listening. I remember Royden Gibbs come and did a talk at one of my meetings once, the art of listening to other people. I like listening. It's the opposite.
They have a plan.
Want.
Sorry?
Want.
Want?
Want.
Want.
W-A-N-T.
Want.
Like a goal.
Oh, as one like desire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. And goal setter.
Goal setter. Good one. What else?
Belief.
Belief.
Creative thinker.
Creative.
Mission.
Passionate. What else? Come on.
Delegability. Yes.
Open.
Open-minded.
Open-minded. Yep. I missed one there. What was the one?
Stickability.
Sorry?
Stickability.
Stickability.
Oh my God, these are paid actors in the audience. Just saying.
Bloody-minded.
Well, it's kind of like focus, right? Single-minded focus. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Single-minded. I'll put that down.
Solidarity.
What else? Come on. Sorry? Critical thinker. Yes.
Hey, there's you, Rob.
Keep
Crypto.
going.
Sorry, you can't be too smart.
Teachable.
A learner.
A what?
Sorry?
Learner.
A learner.
Yeah, a listener.
A listener.
Hey, I got it.
Passionate.
Ambition.
Ambitious. What else?
Sam must be in the
Sorry?
audience.
Driven.
Innovative. Yep.
Kindness, sensibility,
Yep.
Have a vision.
Independent.
mindset, mate. If you've got
Gordon
mindset,
Gekko would be
that'll be next.
Everything those people are in our chat room.
Yep.
Kind. What else?
Independent.
Generous. Independent. Keep them coming.
Driven.
I think he's listening.
Driven.
Driven.
Genuine.
Genuine. Thank you. That's a good one, actually.
Wonder what the real word is. It must be We Global in their life.
Authentic.
Yes. Pumping through their veins.
Is there anything else?
All right, we've exhausted the alphabet, mate.
Successful people, they don't have to be sociable, but it helps, doesn't it?
Alcohol.
Makes them a good networker.
There's some last ones here. Last time I did this 22 years ago, I must have had about 60, and mind you, the sample size was pretty good, so
We've got a leader.
a leader,
We had that.
somebody who's influential, is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
That's you, Rob. Hurry up. Do we need to put this on 2 times?
Visionary. Visionary.
Inspirational.
Honest. Honesty.
Empowering.
Empowering.
Everyone leaves the room.
Patient. Patient.
Man, he's going on a long time here with these attributes.
I think it's just trying to exhaust them until the room shuts up.
Yes.
This is one of these moments when you've got a room full of people and you think you've got a captive audience, and then the next words out of your mouth.
There's no energy.
Well,
Yeah.
it's going to crash because, you know, he's got to come out with something very powerful that's either going to work or not work. So let's see what it is.
Yeah.
Are there any other burning ones out there? Think of somebody you know?
Anyone in the chat room want to have a go?
Attention, realistic. This one. Attention. Realistic.
Come on. What one did they miss? How long we got to go?
Are they goal setters?
Five,
That's a good one, right?
6 minutes. Yeah, we've had goal setters.
Okay. Unless you've got another burning one, that's probably plenty. Here's the pointer.
What's the point of the exercise? I think my
We're going to
recorder
divide
guy's
this
fallen
list
asleep.
into attitudes and skills. And we're all going to agree on how we classify these points before I classify them, right?
There you go.
I want to talk about attitude and I want to talk about skills, but I'll tell you what, I've had people come to me and say, oh, it's all right for you, Frank, you got the skills. No, not necessarily. I tell you, I got the attitude.
He's the man.
Oh, but you can talk. Oh, I can't talk. Well, do you want to change or not?
Okay.
So let's talk about attitudes and skills.
There is one part in here that we haven't heard yet. I must have scooted to near the end when I was rendering this, and it come up and said that we told people they're not allowed to take photos in here, and they're taking photos because these photos can go on the internet and get misconstrued. So he's going to say that in a few minutes.
With this list. Yep. Is being sociable an attitude or a skill? Who says attitude? Is being sociable more of an attitude?
Judge Judy would say you're leading the witness.
Or is it more of a skill? Who says skill? Right? Maybe a little bit of both? Is it more attitude, or do you want to say it's an attitude and a skill? Okay, we'll put them both there, but we'll put them under the H. Okay, focus, attitude and skill.
Attitude. Definitely. You've got to make
I
yourself.
think we'd all agree, most of us.
Mildred knows it's attitude, Rob. Attitude. You've got to have the right attitude.
Say it's focus. Some of these things might be both.
Your attitude
What about
determines your altitude.
integrity? Somebody with drive.
Oh, that's me.
Somebody with commitment. Somebody who's got a desire. Somebody who's a good goal setter. But you're going to have the attitude to set goals, right? But I'll call this AS, right? Belief. Creativeness. I agree. Attitude. Passionate.
Attitude. Have you got the right attitude for we are?
Still on that? Joining dots, but it's mainly attitude, isn't it? Somebody who's kind is going to be, it's not a skill. Oh, actually,
You can.
it could be, but if somebody's kind, it's more of an attitude.
Welcome to We Global. Please take your seat as we extract money out of your pocket and put it into our platform where you can look at daily figures and make it look like you're feeling rich.
Generous. Independent. Influencer. Influence.
Oh, for God's sake. How can he keep this going for 3 minutes?
Somebody
Tony Robbins, move over. Frank's coming on board.
who's empowering.
Both.
Okay, we'll put attitude and skill. Patient.
Attitude and skill.
Open-minded. Goal setting.
Already got.
We'll call that an attitude and skill. Stickability. Single-mindedness. Critical thinker.
Boom, there you go again, Rob.
That could be both. Fair. Somebody's a good listener.
Critical thinker is not an attitude.
It's a way of life.
Somebody who's teachable.
Is that like Tim
Somebody's a
Tams?
listener. And there's also listening skills, active listening skills, right?
Actually, I could do with some Tim Tams. It's one thing I miss about being a plant-based eater is Tim
know.
Tams. They're really good. Hey, Sultana pasties. Do you remember them? And you could
Yes.
suck your tea or your coffee through them. Oh, they were good.
I didn't try that.
You bite off one end and you use it like a straw. And the time you get a good mouthful of warm tea or coffee in your mouth, they just melt. Oh.
So I'll call that AS. Somebody who's passionate,
Already got that.
ambitious,
Attitude.
driven,
Attitude.
has values, who's genuine, who's authentic,
Attitude.
Could be
a
authentic.
visionary, inspirational,
Oh, that's me.
honest,
Oh, I don't know about that.
self-critical. I'd say AS, dreamer, attitude, realistic,
I'm a
attitude,
dreamer.
attention. Okay, how many of those on that board have you read that got skills?
That's my recorder guy who's just fallen over asleep and he's bending over with his phone in his pocket because he just fell asleep about now.
And you just told me the values of all the typical things that make up somebody who's successful. Do you think skill plays a lot in it? It doesn't. Attitude's everything.
Attitude.
That's what I want to wrap up on. Tonight, I'm looking forward to talking with you. We got the big prize for tonight. Are you sure, Bob, I shouldn't tell them what it is?
Go on, tell us. Tell us.
All right, I won't.
You
Thank
weren't
you.
right.
It's been Stace.
You weren't right.
And now, just to end up,
30 seconds.
I want to share something, just one thing. When I was looking at that and seeing what Frank was doing, I was reminded of something that
Oh,
the 5 people you spend the most time with is how you're going to turn out. Think about this. The 5 people in your life that you spend the most time with.
1 minute.
I tell you what, you can't pick your relatives, right? But I tell you what you can do. You can hang around people who have focus, and hang around people who have passion, and hang around people who are driven. And I tell you what, you'll learn those things. All right? You'll learn what they're doing, and you'll change your attitude. So think about the 5 people you spend the most time with. Are they in this business? Are they growing this business? Your coach is probably one of them. You haven't got a coach yet. Remember, before you come back tonight at 7 o'clock, it's going to be awesome. Not only is there this awesome prize that I'm not letting him tell you what it is, right? But there is also going to be some awesome speaking. There's going to be some awesome time. Now, are you ready to ride that wave? It's coming through, and we need to get prepared for it. So, listen, go have some dinner. Be back here sharp, right? So,
Okay, that's it, Rob. And my mate scarpered at halftime, and he went, "Oh my God!" And he was so angry. He wanted to get stuck into them, but he said he uses restraint because he wanted to get out there with the recording to give it to me, to give it to you, so we could do what we did tonight. Oh, any final words on that? Did you get anything from it?
It was pretty cliche, to be honest. Sorry, Frank. Heard it all before.
Yeah.
Were
you inspired?
Heard it all before and heard it delivered better, to be perfectly honest, with a bit more energy and not so much yelling or personal vigour.
Coming from a guy that used to look after 200 Toastmaster clubs, that's quite a pretty good evaluation there, Rob. Well done, you. Was it 200?
Didn't do anything for me. I'm out. I was never in.
Yeah. You're put away. Oh, that's a different story.
Look, the final words for me is that all of these things is a bit like what I was talking about before. It seems to be that the people getting involved, whether they're coming in because they are members or subscribers or whatever it is, or package buyers or whatever, that they seem to be the ones that are providing the only revenue. It doesn't seem to be a product or a service which is being sold to the general public that's bringing in any revenue. And without that, I can't see how any of the returns are legitimate. And when I can't see that, I do start to question the authenticity of the thing. I'll give you one tip if you're listening, Frank. When you rattle off a figure like 60,000 in sales, like you're making 60,000 sales, that's a massive number. And I think most people would have a look at that and they think, well, how hard would that first one be? Bloody hard. And if you went out and you said, okay, how hard would 20 be? Be bloody hard. So when you think that 60,000 is what? 3,000 times 20, most people are just going to look at that and think, well, that's ridiculous.
Unattainable.
But if this is what you're talking about, and I could be wrong here, but if you were saying, how can you get a total of 60,000 people to buy a package or subscription or whatever the hell you're bloody selling, I don't even know what you call it, is that if you said, well, if you went and got 4 people and then those 4 people got 4 people and so on, it would only take you 8 generations to get 64,000 in sales, 64,000 sales. That seems doable. And the load shared, you're creating a team, and you could have meetings, to encourage the team.
You be careful, Rob. They're going to get you on. They're going to put you on the payroll. I already got an offer from Chavis to do his social media marketing. You might get an offer from We Global to do their presentations.
Yeah. I did get an offer from a interesting group to do their presentations about 5 years ago, but I turned that down. I didn't believe in the product. So there you go. Right. So that's me. Hey, look, I don't know whether this is a Ponzi pyramid or legitimate scheme. I make no direction either way. Good luck to everybody who's involved. I just can't see it.
I do know it's a Ponzi scheme and a scam, and I've even put my neck out in the line by being sued by one of these scammers for he tried to sue me for $3.8 million in the New Zealand High Court, and he's now scrambling together his last of his loose change to pay my legal fees because he decided to chicken out an hour and a half before the case actually got heard by a High Court judge. So I'm not too scared to put my name on the line for these scammy bastards, and I'm not expecting Rob to, and I'm not saying Rob should, but I'm sick and tired of these guys taking and stealing money from mum and dad investments. They've worked hard all their lives. They do things on a handshake. They eyeball people when they do business deals, and these guys are eyeballing as they take their life savings away from them, and I think it's disgusting.
Can I interrupt you there?
Okay.
Because here's a stat that I would like these things, particularly the ones like We Global or the blockchain era, whatever they want to call themselves. What if they provided a statistic here and they said of all the people over however long we've been operating, out of all those people that have been in, we can give you the percentage of the number of people that have A, lost money, B, got their initial investment back,
wow,
C, made 2 times their money, or made over 3 times. Now, if those stats, then those stats should be available, because any computerized, digitized organization should know how many people came in, how many got, and of all those people that came in, how much money each of them withdrew. They should know that, right? Now, they came up with those stats and said, here's how many lost, here's how many broke even, here's how many doubled their money, here's how many tripled or more their money. That would be transparent and upfront and incredibly motivational if those numbers stack up.
If they were real. Well, there's a real easy answer to that one, Rob. They simply can't, because it doesn't. I mean, if they did, it'd be great. But the fact is they couldn't afford to show those stats. It's me who answers those emails every day from people. I've lost $50,000 was one I got yesterday. $50,000 lost from Hyperverse. Is there a chance I'm going to get my money back?
A bank, those banks that get all of the bad reputation by these people who are investing in these schemes all the time, a bank would know exactly how much money a person has taken out of their account, exactly how much money they put in, and exactly how much they've got now. So why can't any other organisation?
Yeah. No, good stuff, Rob. Hey, I think we've done well. We've been on the go. It is actually 6 minutes past 1 a.m. in the morning when we recorded this. It is Friday night. We enjoyed doing this. Rob and I are trying to do things a little bit different. Now, Rob has a playlist. Rob has a playlist on the homepage of my YouTube channel. You can find Rob's YouTube channel. Please do go there and subscribe to Rob's videos so you'll get the new videos when they come out. I also would value your subscription. Statistically speaking, 26% of people that watch our lives aren't subscribed, and we've got to fix that. But we did find that in the stats the other day. But thank you for coming along, Rob. Appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
And your critical thinking. And it's good night from him, and it's good night from me.
Bye, Danny.
See you, Rob. We're learning. We're getting better. All right, I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to do a little conclusion. And
Okay.
I'll see you probably sometime soon. All right, mate?
Bye.
See you, mate. You're a winner. Go to bed now. See you, dude. Well, there you go. That was Rob Woolley. He is actually an antique dealer, would you believe? And he's also a public speaker trainer. Now, Rob is actually a professional stutterer. When I first met Rob was around about, it could be 8 years ago. And I was actually a Rotarian. And I was at a Rotary meeting, and Rob come along to talk about how we overcome the obstacle. Well, he didn't overcome it. He works with it. He's got techniques where he overcome his stuttering. And I was amazed because when Rob speaks, he doesn't stutter, but he has a technique that has helped him overcome and become a professional speaker. And the reason why we get on well is because I'm actually dyslexic. Now, I literally have a reading and writing level of a 9.3-year-old, so they tested me. But I've totally embraced technology and I love it. So a lot of the times you'll see spelling mistakes. Now, ChatGPT actually writes all my descriptions for my videos. So in the last 4 months, it's changed my life and my description. I used to ask my partner how to spell anything that I was doing, and I used to beg her to proofread what I had written. So I used voice recognition, and the words, it's called voice to text, and then I get that text and I put it into ChatGPT. So don't get me wrong, I do love technology and I embrace things like crypto. I just don't like it when people are stealing people's crypto or giving them investment advice when they're not registered financial advisors. So that's my rant. If you don't know anything about me, you will see that I've actually produced well over 400 or 500 videos about my quest to name and shame anyone running a Ponzi scheme or a scam. I'm currently investigating well over, I think, around about 130 scams, and I actually have a database of over 100 people that I have been doing and gathering information about. So if you literally want to help me, you don't have to give your name. You can actually go to my website, which I'll pop up after this little wee screen pops up. You can go to my website and there's a contact us page where you can submit information anonymously. I gather that information like a jigsaw puzzle piece, and I put it together, and the overall picture has actually become very clear lately. So that's my website down there somewhere. Maybe have a look there, over there, my website there. Go there, check out my website. You'll see that all my videos that I produce are actually in my website as a blog. And the reason why you have to prove you're a human is because a scammer based in America who tried to sue me for $3.8 million has been doing a denial server attack against my website for the last 5 months. And you have to prove you're a human when you get to my website. Now, I have got some clever software that's going to fix all that sort of stuff, but it doesn't seem to be implemented yet. I'm well behind in my emails. Hey, I don't get paid for doing this stuff, so if you do want to support me and my channel and Rob, by all means, please do buy me a cup of coffee. But if you're watching this video after it's been recorded, there will be a thanks button underneath the video. Your contributions really do make a difference. I'm 53 years of age. I used to own a business networking company. It got destroyed when COVID happened, and now I'm trying to actually make a living out of being a YouTuber. And I'm not doing this for the money only. I'm doing it because I was brought up in a religious cult. I got kicked out of it at the age of 23 years of age. I had to build my networks. I had to build my friends. I was told that the righteous would inherit the earth and all the wicked people will be destroyed and I would live forever on a paradise earth, was the picture and the dream I was told as a Jehovah's Witness. When I lost everything, it was earth-shattering for me. 2 people in my immediate family had died by suicide because I believe they couldn't live up to the expectations that the Jehovah's Witness organization put on them. I'm looking at these Ponzi schemes and scams, and I'm seeing people who are listening to people in these Zoom meetings telling them that if they give them their money, it will turn into a too good to be true business opportunity. I've been following these scams for over 2 years now. I've never seen one of these Ponzi schemes deliver what they said. People do make money sometimes because they think they're cleverer than the Ponzi scheme. They put their money in and they scramble to get their initial investment out, and then they play with house money and they think that's authentic and legitimate and authentic. It's not. It's terrible. It's shocking. Like Rob said, if you're playing in one of these Ponzi schemes, it's a jar. And there's only so much money coming in and there's only so much money able to come out because they don't have a product or service. I want to say goodbye, and I want to say I always like to play my music. I'm Danny de Hek, aka the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. I earned that name by having a full featured article in the New York Times about my quest to name and shame anyone running a Ponzi scheme or a scam. Please give me any information to help me fight my cause via my website, and let's stop these bastards from stealing the money from your mum and dad investors. Hey, have a great night and thank you for tuning in. I really value having you here. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you.